Hello everyone and welcome to the beginning of the stream. Can I change his name from Malcolm?
No.
Yes. Megan yet? Yes?
Maybe. I don't know. Has he stopped calling himself Malcolm?
What about Mega Malcolm?
Mega, well, we remember what happened to Ugdump.
Yeah, no, we can't do that until I give him these chain
Mega
things
Ugdump.
that I have.
Yeah.
The whip of chains or whatever it is. I'm going to hyperpower him.
Fiery one?
Yeah. If it doesn't turn him into Mega Megan, I will.
Mega Megan.
I will.
Do I get any fitness at all?
No one heard.
I don't know,
said.
man.
Oh.
How fast can you run? Yeah, of course you get to say it. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Okay.
Don't worry. Don't worry.
Hey, stop legitimately answering my questions.
Don't worry.
Welcome to the stream, everyone.
Not legitimately. How are you guys doing? How's your week been?
Than I have, okay. Just stop.
I know a couple of you are plagued by the heat. One of you is plagued by depression, and the other one is plagued by an almighty curse and will die today. I'll let you guys figure out which one's which. How are y'all doing?
Tell which one is going to be which. Fuck. I actually am going to have a dilemma with this.
Okay.
It's a veritable who's who of who's depressed.
It's like that meme everyone tweets, I'm in this photo and I don't like it. But 3 times over. For real, you guys surviving? You okay? You living?
Yeah.
Yeah?
That's nasty.
Sure
Yeah.
thing.
I gotta move the mic. I don't know if it's gonna mute, but... Alright.
I was trying to find the right overlays to change Malcolm back to Megan.
Malcolm, Megan, 14th, the 15th, the 17th, and the 18th of his name.
I believe I've done it.
Esquire to the painter of Elric von Sorensen, the horn blower at the steps of Peak Cliff. A royal knight.
I have the papers to prove it.
He does.
Correct.
He's got a pedigree.
I'm not putting that on there though.
The big old title.
But it is a thing.
Just put
But it is
quote,
a thing.
horn
While
blower.
I agree it is his title,
Horn blower.
I'm not putting it on there.
Not a whistleblower, he's just a horn blower. It's fine.
Just a horn blower. Well, he's not the horn blower. He's Esquire to the horn blower. Yeah, Elric von Sorensen, who gave him whatever you got from him when you gave him your business cards. Oh, all right. Do you guys want to play some D&D? Maybe
Yes.
potentially.
Kinda.
Yes.
I
Mess around a
guess.
little bit, fuck around.
That's why we're here.
Haha! Welcome. I think last week Tuesday summed up the session super well, but I'm gonna do it this time. Don't worry, I won't put you on the spot too much. The summation of last week from Tuesday was that you guys went to a tower and you fucked off after something told you to fuck off. And while you were fucking off, everything else started to fuck off, and then the wizard at the top of the tower fucked off, and you made your way down the stairs.
We fucked off.
Then we fucked up.
Then you fucked off.
Yes.
Ultimately, at the end of the day,
Family
fucked
friendly
off.
content, everyone.
Family friendly. Please beep out the word fucked off. Thank you very much. But as you were all traveling last week, things got a little spicy. As you fucked off from down the steps of Peak Cliff over in the eastern mountains on the continent of Vormir, you scaled down the great steps of Peak Cliff, and you narrowly avoided a confrontation with the Burning Thorns as they started to surround this Jade Lake at the bottom of the steps. The Burning Thorns, a bandit group that have been hunting you for a reason unknown. And the group has been stalking the shores of the Jade Lake and pushing further into other mountainous regions, and have crossed the way, only to have to turn around as you stole a boat and traveled across the Jade Lake as you slipped by unannounced. As the moon kind of like drifted over the lake, you all touched down and touched shore on this kind of little inlet into a forest. There was a quick scuffle where you dispatched 3 guards really expertly and made your way along. When you 4 separated by a well-thought plan that is now gone awry. Megan took some time to distract some approaching guards that were in the distance, coming down a road towards all of you. You were crossing these plains to make it up to the mountain. I think, if I'm not mistaken, your goal was to make it to a waterfall in the mountains and find your way inside of them.
Yep.
Yeah, so sprinting across, trying to make your way to the mountains, Kesh, you saw that Megan was in a spot of trouble, and decided to help him. During the fight, Megan got away, and so did a loose guard, as he pulled out his horn and blew the horn across the night plains here. It kind of echoed out, and you heard 2 or 3 in response. The entire plains and foothills now, south of Peak Cliff and to the west of them, are abuzz as you see small torches lighting up. Megan, you were in a confrontation with a big old overweight, thuggish man that was chasing you when you pulled your hood up and disappeared into the astral plane using the cloak of stars that you obtained from a weird occurrence a couple of days ago. So, do me a favor real quick. Who wants to roll me something? No?
100% not PG.
Okay, Zot.
Zot.
Roll me a 1d2.
Oh.
The first roll out of
All
the
right.
way.
Dead or alive?
Roll 1.
Dead.
So,
You are dead.
session. Oh, why did that close? Oh, thank goodness. Thought I closed everything. So, session starts today with Kesh, Taldro, and oh wait, you're all separated, right? Or
No.
did
No,
you
we
start-
3 are
we
together
all
and
run up?
Yeah.
You did start to run up. Okay. I wanted to make sure. I thought you just kind of ran by. So we start the session today as you've dispatched, I think, the remaining guards here as Megan has led away this large thuggish man. It's currently nighttime. You can hear the forest around you and the plains that you're on. If I'm not mistaken, there's a town to your northeast that you had seen called Mort. You're currently on a road just out of this forest. What do you do?
So didn't we, I may be misremembering, but didn't we decide to run for the waterfall after we beat those guys? Because there wouldn't be
yeah.
so many chasing him.
yeah, I think we
right?
were already
Yeah.
doing that, right?
Yeah, so
kind
you're
of.
running along the plains, but I think if I'm not mistaken, one of you rolled something and you didn't quite know where the waterfall was. And there is no You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm
We were
pretty
looking
sure
for it. We were 100%.
Yeah, you're looking for it. Yeah, I don't think I said
walking
there was any
along,
discernible
looking
waterfall.
for the waterfall. Yeah.
Yeah.
So give
didn't
me
know where it
some perception checks while you're all. We'll say like where you're walking currently. You guys have gotten up, let's say, to the bottom of these foothills that start to go up into the mountains. My man, Catch,
Just.
with a natural 25.
Well, actually, you can't crit on a skill check according to the elitists on Reddit. So
Oh, I'm so sorry.
fuck off, Cash.
Oh.
You don't get nothing on a 25.
Are you specifically just looking for a waterfall, or are you also like?
I'm
what's
looking
the,
for,
the
I guess,
general?
pathway probably to find a waterfall. I don't think Kesh actually knew about the waterfall in any way.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I said like that. Well, I think you guys know that I'm looking for the waterfall because the trail is supposed to be near it.
Yeah, I think you were mentioning. You were definitely mentioning the waterfall. It's just a matter of, I guess, where to find it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. All right. So on a natural 25, trying to think of where you are exactly. Yeah. So on a natural 25, as you're looking around, you can see up at the top of a couple of plateaus on the mountain range as you get closer to it here seem to be pocked with small openings. You could probably assume that there are about 15 separate openings, maybe a little bit less. Some are quite indistinguishable, but for a moment you can see like a darker shadow further along. They seem to kind of like dot and speck these mountains. As far as any of them that might stand out, there does seem to be. Hold on, there it is. Yeah, there does seem to be a small stream that seems to be coming down like off the top of the mountains, but it falls onto a plateau and you can't see where it goes. Definitely not enough to be a waterfall, but it's a little bit of ways up the mountain. It would be maybe to you like an hour or two climb. That's probably the most notable one, however. You do see, again, more than dozens of small caves around. Kale and Taldra, I think you guys see some small caves and things as well. Maybe not all of them that Kesh can see here. As you, in terms of like as you're going along, in terms of what you hear as well and what's going on in the surrounding area, behind you, you can see torches being ignited inside of the forest, and a couple of them further up the hills to your southwest, near about that ruined tower that I described, start to light up and mark the tops of the hills and the mountain ranges.
We don't see the waterfall.
No. Well,
not a waterfall.
Yeah, more just the plateau. Just Kesh looking behind himself and seeing the other two, just kind of seeing now all the torches.
Yeah.
We're going now. And I just point in the general direction of like the plateau-ish area, just because he doesn't know what the fuck he's looking for. It's just
a rough, zigzagged path somewhat, but yeah.
If it's a path-looking, kind of thing, then, just gonna shuffle him on over that way.
Yeah, I think it looks traversable. Maybe rather has to be. With the pressing bandits around you, it's not too far. You guys are all just following suit. I'm guessing. Are you trying to be stealthy?
I think we're being quiet. I still don't have my armor on.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah,
I don't either.
You don't either. Okay, yeah. So you can roll the stealth checks if you'd like. You'll move at a little bit of a slower pace, but hopefully won't be seen. And there are plenty of like small, like I described them as foothills here. So there's a couple of boulders and small like runoff from the
Might as well have
mountain.
had our armor on.
Oh,
Those are mediocre.
I got a 7.
I got a 9.
A 9 and a 12 from Taldro, Kale, and Kesh, respectively. You find your way up these mountains slowly. I think there's no clear, discernible path to begin on. You just have to start climbing. You climb up a couple of rocky kind of juts. Some of these shelves seem to like dip inwards and offer a little bit of shadow with the moonlight waning overhead. Okay. From down in the forest below, you see, I think rather here actually, before you see the sound of men approaching, scattered voices, and then like as you turn, you can see the torches coming a little closer into the clearing. Climbing for about 5-ish minutes here, you reach a point where you're on a kind of diagonal plateau here, potentially protecting you from the ground below, but leaving you exposed up above. Y'all could continue on, or
the waterfall's above us.
There's like a faint trickling. Give me a perception check as you guys get up on the mountain. There was a faint trickling that Kesh noticed, probably a small runoff stream that just seemed to like come off of the top of the mountain and then fall onto a plateau further up above, unseen.
12.
19.
12, 19, and a 12. However, the rocks plenty further down here where you all are, they seem damp, as if there was a stream somewhere nearby, above.
We keep going. I said it, Cash, because he's kind of leading the way.
Just looking at the hills, just seeing for like anything other than I not so much like the path that I'm worried about now is what's waiting for us, I guess. See if they torches, any movement, any if they beat us to the punch already. So
okay, just
looking around more than anything, but he's still kind of walking the path.
Yeah, as you're kind of at the, like I said, following this diagonal shelf that juts out from the mountain here. So you can hear, with all of your perception checks, the crowd forming down below beneath the mountains. And although you've put a little bit of distance from them, you can still hear it due to the size. They seem to be maybe around where the fight had broken out. After a couple moments, as you look up, you can see a couple of torches about 300 feet away. Far further up the mountain.
Would it be along the same path, or would it be
probably not? Okay. Probably not. But I think all of you can tell though. Like as you continue to walk along the mountains, you get silhouetted every couple of moments here, as the moon might cast a shadow, and whatever you're wearing might stand out against the mountains. So might not be 100% safe.
Right. Just more, I guess, turning around, just going, just pointing and just very minimal, I guess, very minimal, just talking and whatnot. So just making sure that they get the idea.
Do either of you say anything back? No? Okay.
Not if he's not speaking. Cash's operation, he got us this far.
Yep. Give me some athletics checks here as you begin to climb this mountain. You can hear the voices from below grow slightly louder as you begin to climb. 17.
28.
Cash with the 14. You're in good stride here, Taldra. The 28. You begin to climb, and I think you adjust to the incline here quite easily, and it's just easy to put your hand against the wall and continue marching on. As you get a couple of steps up the mountain, you're still on this kind of diagonal plateau. You reach, I think, the moment where you could climb up onto the next path, and Cash, in front of you, you hear rocks scatter up top, about a plateau above you. What do you guys do?
Almost I would kind of just put my hands out and just kind of like start leaning up against the mountain a little bit, just kind of like almost not really trying to blend in, but more of keeping myself like closer to the mountain.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same. I would freeze. I wouldn't say anything to these guys. I would just.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think-
kind of just mimicking everything that Kesh does anyway.
Okay. What's the marching order? Is it Kesh, Kale, Taldro, or Kesh, Taldro, Kale?
I'm usually the meat in the sandwich, so I assume since he's leading that it would be Taldro.
Okay.
I didn't.
Yeah, I figured that's what I was gonna. That's your fucking Peachy immediately.
I don't even get how that would be lewd, but I can see the laughter.
Don't burst the bubble. Don't burst the bubble. Just keep scratches.
There's nothing he can't make look.
Family-friendly content. Oh, we're on a magical adventure. Roll me some stealth checks here. As Kesh stops and you hear the rocks kind of skitter, it's almost like a second later that the rocks actually down the cliffside up in front of you.
6.
11.
As you all press up against the wall, you hear a quick scuffle, and then a voice here. Wait, don't make any noise, idiot. Another one replies back. What do you mean? I didn't make any noise. That was you. What? That wasn't me. And then a third voice comes out that sounds quite closer to you, Kale. Says, "Hey, I found one." As I don't know if whoever looks up. If you look up, there's a small set of beady eyes looking straight down at Kale, sticking out just a little bit from the shelf. I need you all to roll me initiative if you can.
Aren't you a fucking elf?
Shit.
Can't you hide behind a fucking single leaf or something like that? Isn't that what elves do? They have some weird fucking bullshit where they can literally hide in rain or something weird.
Yeah,
I see this pane of glass. I would like to hide behind it. You do. You are successfully able to hide behind it.
I will hide in a mirror, please, and thank you.
8 on my initiative.
8.
These are all very low initiatives.
I'm not liking the rolls today. I got the one natural, and that was it.
Today's the day we die. We're overdue at TPK for the whole thing. To be fair.
What? No, man, you guys are fine, totally fine, 100%. All right, we're gonna theater of the mind this one here for a minute. So, sorry, because my map fucked up.
I just want
Let's see. There.
20 being bad juju.
So your initiatives, we've got a 9, a 7, and an 8 from Kesh, Kale, and Taldra. Jeez, those are low initiatives, guys. Oof. There were 3 men standing on the ridge above you.
Peachy. You remember Austin Powers?
Yeah,
You remember Dr. Evil?
I do.
Remember Mini-Me?
Yeah.
Today you look like they tried to do that with a trucker.
Oh my god. Is this because did you not get in the stream?
No, I just looked at him and took in his drip for a moment, and then I just thought I'd rip it.
Man, it's a really good thing that I rolled these 2 natural 20s then. Don't worry, Peachy. Don't worry, buddy.
You look great. I'm just giving
It
you
doesn't
shit.
change them.
Truckers are hot, okay? They do it for me. It's fine.
They do it.
Look what you made him do! Can't be worse than G feel, right? This man that had exclaimed seeing you, Kale, maybe look up and catch his eyes as he says something. He attempts to reach down and grab the scruff of like whatever you're wearing. Give me a contested athletics check.
Oh dear.
Bye, bitch. You about to get yeeted off a mountain. Oh, damn. Super fucking buff Kale.
I'm
Impossible. Just saying. That shouldn't be possible, given what I
Bosses in
what I
chat.
see on my sheet here.
Can she yeet him off the mountain, though?
Just do it.
All right.
That amulet.
roll me,
strength.
roll me a d20 real quick. Just a regular d20 count.
Oh my god. Oops, I forgot the R.
DJ's what the fucking 24.
10.
Okay. So unfortunately, you don't get a chance to reach back and grasp him as quickly as he grabs you. But there's a moment where he goes and pulls, and your shirt just slightly at the collar. It's like he grabs where maybe some of the stitching was, and just rips out some of the stitching, and it comes back, and he stumbles back further up onto the plateau on his ass. They're about 5 feet above you guys on, like, this guy is about 5 feet above you guys on another diagonal plateau, just for the theater of the mind here. He kind of like, you hear him scuffle back quickly, and he goes, "Oh, she's a slippery one!" As he kind of crawls back over and then sees the two of you, Aldro, Cash. Comes to the second man's turn. You hear the second voice that you'd heard, and a pair of boots as they and then land on the plateau above you. You hear him say, "Oh, okay, I thought my mic went out." You hear him say, "Oh, sound the alarm." To the third one. He is going to reach down and take a stab. You hear a flash of steel, Kesh, as a knife just comes out of nowhere. I'm gonna guess your AC isn't 10, yeah?
No, it is not.
No? Okay. So the knife just kind of in between your two shoulders, Taldro and Cash, just kind of stabs into the rock, and as he pulls over, he's like, big toothy grin. He doesn't have many. He says, "Oh, we did find them."
Oh, yes, you did.
Oh, he's an orc.
I take offense to that. I'm half orc. Now I'm going to eat you off the mountain.
I don't know what that means.
Whoever can throw one off the mountain first wins. I say to the others, straight up in canon, because I threw a fucking dire wolf or whatever, winter wolf off a mountain.
Yeah.
And Kale is off her shit now. She's like Master Roshi'd up.
You hear a third set of footsteps, like heading a little further away from you, and then within a couple of moments, Kale, what's your AC? Sorry.
16.
16. Out
16?
of a couple of moments after hearing this, you hear as a large bolt from a crossbow sticks into the side of your shoulder, Kale, slightly exposed. You can see off to your right, the third individual has taken a slight kind of height advantage, a little bit of ways.
Oh wait, but if I don't have my armor on,
It's gonna be lower.
Oh, it's
But
way
so how
lower,
the fuck
yeah.
you have 16 AC?
Jeez,
I
don't
totally
know.
spaced it. Yeah, I
fucking
don't have my armor on.
Cleric, man.
It's just 10
He
plus
rolled an
your dex.
18. He rolled an 18. So regardless.
Got me either way.
Yeah, if you go into your Roll20 sheet and scroll down to where your armor is and equipment, you can unequip it.
Or
there's
it's
like
just
a little,
10 plus your dex to remember.
Yeah, it is 10 plus your dex, yeah.
10 plus my dex. Okay. 10 plus.
The modifier.
Oh, so it's 10.
So this crossbow bolt spears you in the side of the shoulder here, Kale. You can feel it dig down into the bone. Where did that go? I don't know. It deals. My cats keep stealing my dice. I don't know where they're going. Like, they keep knocking my dice tray off, and then they go scattering, and I don't know where my D4s or D10s are. You take 6 points of damage. That juts in. You can feel it strike the bone, and then you all hear a cheer from far off, a little bit beneath you. Kesh brings it to your turn as you hear like sickly arrow, kind of that sickly sound as the arrow strikes into Kale.
Just kind of glancing up, do I see where that I guess it's gonna be the two above us and then the other up in the corner. Okay.
Yeah, if you turn your vision, you have to lean out just like a fraction of an inch, but you can see a figure reloading a crossbow, like at his feet, rather, pulling the string up, silhouetted against the sky.
All right, I'm gonna do something kind of monkey and kind of fun. I'm kind of here for this.
All right.
So I'm gonna do Step of the Wind, and I'm gonna jump from my plateau to the one above us.
Yeah.
And the first one I see, I'm grabbing and tossing.
Okay. All right. Yeah. There's one immediately above you. So how do you kind of do this? Are you like flipping up? What are you doing?
It's kind of just like a simple, just a leap up. Mm-hmm. So I'm just kind of like eye level with them. Yeah. I'm gonna almost trade places with them. Just gonna grab them, fling them that way, but use the momentum to throw me onto the edge. Okay, so this is the one with his arm over, trying to. He's like pulling his dagger out as well. So give me a contested athletics check. 13. Okay, so close, man. So close. As you jump up, you grab him by the shoulders, and you do throw him down. I mean, he was so close to rolling a 1. Fortunately, though, as you throw him, you do hear a crack, like a loud crack, as his head collides with the rock. But before his body slumps and goes limpless or lifeless, you hear a loud yell in pain echo out from the mountains. Just a and then echoes out 3 times. But he seems incapacitated, and you're like easily able to scramble up on the ledge. There's the surprised, kind of wiry, beady-eyed, smaller man that's looking over Kale. As the yelp happens, he looks to his left where you are, and he's in surprise. I think that's all I can do, but I just take a stance and kind of just, get ready for him. Action. Yep, that's everything. Brings us to Taldro. There's a kind of lifeless or limp man cracked next to you, but you hear a kind of surprised yelp from up to your right.
Yeah, can I see if I can grab him?
Yeah, give me a contested athletics check.
28 again.
I fucking love you.
So stupid.
Oh my fucking god, dude.
Worst item you've ever handed out to someone.
I know. You're welcome. I mean, you're gonna die.
I know, just like, I'm gonna miss it so much, but at least the time I had with these gloves were special.
I mean, it's almost like this shit keeps happening because how do you want to throw him off the mountain? Because he rolled a natural 1. So, like, how do you want to throw him, like, off the mountain? What do you want to do?
I think if he's above me.
Yeah, he's above you. He's up to your right here. Like.
Yeah, I think I just grab him, slam him to the ground, like drag him along the plateau above me, and then just yeet, and he just spins off. Like, you know when, like, if you was to drag someone flat off of something and they would spin outwards.
Yeah, momentum.
Yeah, and then he just helicopters down towards the ground.
Does exactly that. I think you see this from Kesh's perspective as he's and then
yeah. If I had rolled a natural 20 on top of that, I think it would have been acceptable that he helicoptered upwards and away and escaped. It was that fast.
When you see the moon, there's a little.
Yeah, the team rocket.
Oh man, it's like Fairlight all over again from fucking Table Story Ascendance. Punched a guy to the moon.
Yeah, I mean, Fairlight does whatever he wants. That's just how Fairlight is.
That's literally how he plays D&D.
Flipped over a fucking train in Dustvale.
Yes. Yeah, I did.
Yep.
Ridiculous. Did he run up a wall or something as well?
From dying. Yeah, he did.
No, he couldn't.
So you do this. You can see, I think, like, as you throw him, you see this shocked kind of expression of the third guy that's standing up. He's about 20 feet from you guys, like further away on this plateau, and he's like mouth agape in horror. Roll me perception checks, Kale and Kesh, real quick. Just a free perception check. Okay. So while you're up there, Kesh, maybe watching Taldro, you don't quite see the crowd down below, but Kale, you can see the light of the fires start to illuminate the bottom of the mountain, and a small crowd forming of what looks to be like onlookers looking at something up on the mountain, presumably you. And you see a couple of them start to climb.
How far are we up the mountain already?
I'd say you guys are like a good distance, like 30, 40 feet up the mountain so far, and it took you a little bit to get up, so you can know that they're not going to be on your ass in a minute. It's kind of like an arduous climb, so. Yeah. And I believe that's the end of your turn, Taldro, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Kale, what do you want to do? Is you see the crowds, and like there's like 2 or 3 guys that have started to like and they start to climb up a little bit.
I say, we should climb. We should go now. And I'll start reaching for anything I can clamber up.
Okay. Give me a quick acrobatics or athletics check, whichever one you'd like to make.
Looks about the same from where I'm standing, so it's gonna do athletics.
Right? Natural 20 again.
That shouldn't be possible.
Jesus.
I want her to jump. Just fucking right up on the platform.
Listen, I mean, I think it's even more impressive though that you've got the giant arrow in the side of your shoulder. It's like you can feel it grinding with every pull, but you grab both your hands and quickly and deftly pull yourself up. Maybe surprised at your own strength here from the maybe it's the amulet, but you definitely wouldn't have been able to do that a month ago.
No.
You just spring up. As you
20, can I pull that thing out and use it as a piton?
Fuck yeah, dude. Fuck yeah. Most badass thing we've ever seen. Pull yourself up. You do wince and make a lot of pain though. I'm not gonna give that to you. There's the people down below, because they hear screams and cries from the mountains here. Brings us to that guy's turn, and he's careening down the mountain, so he's dead. Ooh. Another crossbow bolt, unfortunately, though, Kale. As soon as you climb up and you've made your stand up, another one kind of sticks in, gets you in the shoulder or in the ribs.
How close is she?
She is further than 5 feet away from you, unfortunately. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because it would be it's you, Taldro. No, you, Kale, Taldro, actually. So she would be right there. Yeah, she'd be right there.
Would I be able to use my reaction to deflect missile?
Yeah. Yeah. Give me the. What is it? You roll your.
I think it's
You can use your reaction.
When hit by
you were hit.
Damn it. Okay.
Reduce. Hold on. There might be some other bullshit. If you catch a missile, no. As part you make this attack, no. Unfortunately.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that would be worth a try.
I'll be with you in a moment here as I
spawn in a dragon.
The dragon. So this another one sticks you in the ribs, Kale, dealing 10 points of damage. I think you just hear Kale cry out in pain again. It's just both ripped this out and then climbed up and then that brings us back to your turn, Cash. What do you want to do?
Fucking Naruto running up to his ass and just...
You can see him. He's reloading currently.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna give him the just 3 to the fucking face.
Okay. Give me your attack rolls as you.
It's gonna be a natural 27, 24, and a 9.
And a 9. Okay, give me the damage on the first one and the second one there.
Oh, fuck, that's 13
man.
damage
13.
and 10 damage.
23 damage. Okay. Just barely enough as you run up. You have to like kind of skip up a couple of pieces of terrain, but you navigate them enough, and you clip him maybe in the knees, and then like under an armpit, two huge weak points for him, and then you see him fall down to his knees and kind of writhe in pain. He screams out, but he still seems a little conscious. He's just holding his arm and turns back to you and kind of snarls, but also seems surprised. Anything else you want to do?
If I can, I just want to left hand just kind of not on his throat, but on his like his jaw, just kind of just holding him up like, you know, just jaw, so it's just open.
Okay. Yeah, give me
just for effect.
Just give me an athletics check real quick.
Sure.
You know what's crazy, dude?
I'm never doing.
You know what's crazy?
Please tell me.
He rolled a natural 20, bro.
So it's a... I want to mention.
Yeah.
Yeet him.
He
Yeet him.
bites.
Yeet him. Yeet.
He bites. Because you've got your hands there. Dun 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 dun. I'm gonna roll for this. I'm sorry.
Yep. I hate roll 20 so fucking much.
Okay. He clamps onto your finger. You can feel bone meet bone or tooth meet bone. It deals 6 damage.
Fuck.
Almost take it like you can. It's horrifying. It feels like the digit is about to come off. Kind of gets down like to the second knuckle. And 10. No, sorry, not 10. That was what Kale took. 6 points of damage as he. Sorry, man.
I wish I had a reaction. I'd skull bash the shit out of him.
Oh, that was good. Oh, I'm so glad you rolled that. Taldro, what do you want to do? There's
You're so fucking close.
I would like to uppercut the guy who's biting his finger without realizing that he's got his finger, because I want to like Shoryuken him off the mountain.
Yeah.
But I also want to just.
So, like,
no,
you
I'm gonna use my movement to run over to him.
Yeah.
And then I would like to uppercut him with meta knowledge. Purely so that he loses a finger. I'm disappointed that he didn't lose a finger.
It was close. I rolled for it. Okay, it was close. And
I just want to secure that.
Give me the attack roll.
I don't even know what an unarmed strike is. Just
20 plus your strength.
Is that it? And I'm proficient, right? Everyone's proficient with unarmed strike.
Yeah.
Plus 10. Nice. 25.
What the fuck?
Yeah. And my strength is 7, so that's 8 damage, right? Is it just unless you're a monk, it just does flat strength as damage? Is that right? I've always played that rule, but I actually don't know whether that's one of those ones.
I'm pretty sure you're right.
I was just told.
Hold up, I've got a
some people have minus, and then they just do no damage.
I thought it was flat damage. Was it not flat damage?
Yeah.
Yeah, normally I just do a d6, but he's
there you go. One plus strength. Yeah.
1 plus strength.
I read a thing as well that because you're considered proficient with your own hands, you're always proficient.
You always
with
have it. Yeah. I remember that because I think we got into that with like Dustveil or SKT. But
I remember it happening like 2 weeks after I read about it. I don't know if it was the type of thing that like, you know, Chris Perkins tweeted or whatever, or whether it was an actual rule, but I'm pretty sure it comes from above us.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it
comes from headquarters.
I'm pretty sure it was Chris Perkins on like, you know, that Ask Twitter website, whatever.
It's gonna be one of them, yeah.
So you run at this this individual. Really? Okay. Sorry, Za. I'm just sorry to scare you so much. As you run up, you get the damage. Oh, you already have the damage. 8 damage. You hear a crack. Roll me a dexterity saving throw, Mr. Kesh.
Hooray!
With disadvantage.
Hooray!
Oh my god.
You crack him in the jaw, Taldro. Yeah. You get the uppercut. Kesh, the pain gets immensely worse as the digit comes off. Sorry, buddy. Your middle finger of your right hand.
I had him with.
Oh, you had left? Okay, sorry. I was imagining your left hand comes off as Taldro cracks this, and they're an immovable force meets what is it? The
Unstoppable
I was going to say
immovable
impenetrable object.
Sometimes.
Unstoppable Taldro's massive body clears a path.
Are we going to go into his backstory?
Here we go.
How do you feel in this moment, Kesh? You are staring at his head and his body flying with the tip of your finger.
It's not even a shriek. It's just more of a guttural, like almost a roar from just the fuck, just from the bottom of his fucking gut, and that's.
Did I get him in time?
All you see is just shaking hand, blood, like spewing.
I was trying to get and hit him before he bite your hand. I hand him like a rag.
Yeah, all he does is just cover it, just fucking speechless, and just.
It's okay. It's just a flesh wound. He will be fine.
Yeah. I think you see like the in his eyes. Kale, it comes to your turn. Plenty other lights light up the mountainside now. A couple horizontally, just like a little closer than you thought anybody would be. There's a torch to as a figure is illuminated as Kesh screams out in bestial rage at like the top of his lungs. What are you doing?
I'm on a little platform, right?
Yeah.
Rocky.
Yeah. We'll say like each of these are about 15 feet long.
Okay.
And they're like diagonal at about 5 feet per. Just rough terrain.
I'm gonna cure wounds on myself.
Okay.
So here comes that. Level 1. 12.
Okay. Do you take the arrow out as well?
Yes, I'm gonna pluck that out of my ribs. Go back up to this amount of health. And start climbing.
Okay.
Yep.
You two see Kale just start to climb up. Whether or not you're actually like climbing, or if you're maybe running up and finding a spot to get up. Yeah. But Kale picks up the pace. Kesh, roll me a con check real quick as it comes to your turn. Oh, Constitution check. 18. Okay, so as you fight and fight the pain, maybe squeezing your arm as hard as you can, as your eyes catch where Kale is climbing, you also see down the way. You see all of the men climbing up, but for a moment the memory snaps back into your mind there of the small stream trickling out a little further above on the mountainside. What are you guys doing?
The guy that has my finger, where is he right now?
He's currently falling down the mountain. There was kind of a sickening while you two were talking there for a moment. His body kind of spilled out into the crowd that was climbing the mountain.
All right, rag on, I guess, Nub, and he's just gonna be pretty much blitzing through everything and seeing if he can kind of find where that plateau kind of not left off, but where it kind of was, just to see if there's any particular, not entrance, but just a pathway, just
yeah. So you're trying to see one, or you're trying to remember where it is?
I don't know if Kesh, I don't remember if Kesh knows where it is, but trying to see one, I guess.
Okay, give me a quick perception check.
Sure.
That con check there was like you kind of remembering the way that you had seen from the mountain there.
Right.
So on a 15, yeah, you can kind of get that, and then as you look a little further above Kale, it looks like the path kind of becomes a little bit more easily manageable here for the next however couple of climbs up, and then becomes quite dangerous. But at the top you see a small open kind of peeking cave with little drips of water coming down. It's still a ways up. Like I'll say, like I think it's 50 feet up, 45 to 50 feet up. But oh, I unplugged my headset like an idiot. Try that one more time. So what are you guys doing here as you can hear the hoots and hollers of some Burning Thorns men, and the bandits down at the bottom. Just
I'm guiltily looking at
yelling.
Kesh as he starts to move away. It's okay. If we get to the temple, there is a man named Elarir, and I think he is said to be able to regenerate limbs. I'm sure.
Kesh isn't even fucking listening.
Yeah,
He's just
climbing.
He'll be fine.
Yeah.
So you all begin to climb. Give me athletics checks here while we keep the initiative here in mind. As you begin to move up, so do the Burning Thorns bandits at the bottom of the foothills here of the mountains. But with some of them seem like over encumbered, maybe not fit to climb. They can continuously like slide down a couple of portions. They have to kind of subvert their current path and then follow the same path that you three had followed. A couple of people that were making maybe a shortcut. You hear like as two people fall off, no more than 10 feet. They begin to climb very quickly again.
Would Kesh be able to do acrobatics just using his legs more than anything? Just
I'm gonna say
jumping
this,
and
no.
Right.
This is like a speed and stamina type thing as you're racing up the mountain. 11, okay. And Kale, you get another natural 20.
Yeah. Was it athletics or acrobatics?
Athletics specifically.
Okay. Specifically.
18. Jeez.
Fucking
I'm meant to get up this mountain.
Yeah. Jeez. Well, the terrain also does get a little easier here as well. Taldro, you catch up, I think, with Kale quite quickly as you're all chasing up this mountain here. Kesh, you do fall behind, but it doesn't seem like you're about to be caught up by the Burning Thorns bandits that have now started to trail along the path. A couple of them that had lit up their torches and revealed themselves along the mountain seem to be kind of jumping horizontally across some of these plateaus gaps to try and get closer to where you are. A couple of them fall through the cracks. A couple of them continue to slide down the mountain, and others seem to be encumbered and making their way slowly. Like I'm just rolling natural one after natural one. I'm not kidding you. This is the fourth I fucking rolled. So while you're climbing, you reach a point where you think you're at the proper height. The cave has disappeared due to you climbing up a certain height on the mountain here, but it seems like this is the right spot. It seems like you're up here, you're on a ledge, there's a slight bit of an overhang, and you can hear the trickle slightly, but you don't see the stream or the cave. You have a moment to pause and catch your breath, but what do you want to do here? You can still hear them climbing down below and shouting, but for the moment you've put some distance behind you and them. What do you want to do?
Kesh is just taking a breath and just, all right, where are we going next?
Well,
I don't even know if I've seen the waterfall once on this.
No,
Yeah.
but you're currently standing on a plateau. You can see down. You can see the Burning Thorns bandits, and the topography of the mountain is kind of starting to change. Like you're getting far enough that it's kind of starting to change. You're getting to that dizzying height that you were previously on the Thrall Peaks.
I'm firing arrows at them then. If we're stopping for 1 second, I'm already knocking an arrow.
All right, give me an attack roll with your bow. Say one. Kesh, Kale, what are you two doing? If you want to look for the cave, you can give me perception checks.
10.
10.
Do I get extra attack? I don't know if we're in combat or not.
Yeah, we're keeping the initiative on for right now. For extra attack, I don't think, can you use it with bows? Yeah, you can. Just give me another one.
I think we did it last time.
Wow,
Yeah,
a
we
6.
did. 10 and a 6.
I'm trying to turn it sideways to make it, but I cannot really.
Yeah.
I'm not that good with this thing.
There's a couple arrows. Scatters. It does seem to do something. It seems like it interrupts two of these guards or bandits' strides as they're coming up. Makes them pause for a second. It does slow down two of them. Cash, as you look, you're pretty certain it could be to your right. But there's also, as you look a little further down the left path, it seems like this specific kind of rocky shelf that you're on runs far further to the to your left, maybe potentially further up north, or if you guys are looking at the map, further this way. It seems to carry on much farther than the side on your right, but you're quite certain that to your right is where that cave was. What are you saying? What are you doing?
We could try this way. Just we need to go before they see.
Okay.
Which way? Up? Or to the cave? Or
I think it's the cave. And he just kind of is almost not dazed, but just more of I guess the adrenaline rush is still there, but fading slowly.
won't we get trapped?
I don't know.
Cornered.
I've never seen this path before.
How hurt are my friends? Can I tell if they're...
I'm just gonna say, give me a medicine check real quick.
Okay.
You can tell that Kesh is like something's ailing him. You don't quite see. Natural 25. Jesus, Tuesday. Wow.
Yeah, it's not hidden. He's got a rag right over it. It's just covering this. You think it might be a finger, but there's all you see is
because I don't think I saw that.
Hear the of like blood kind of dripping off the rag now. It's starting to puddle, even though you've stopped for less than, like, we'll say less than 15 seconds here. It's already forming a small puddle and starting to drip down the rock and off. Seems something, his hand is fucked.
Okay.
So, on the other hand, Taldrew, if something was 100%, how okay are you looking?
If 57 was 100%,
okay,
I would be at 57.
Okay.
You're welcome.
So 57%.
Don't take damage anymore.
Right. So seeing that he's hurt like that, I will scurry along with him to the cave.
Okay. So Kesh, you take off. You start to make your way to the to where you saw the cave. Yeah. You seem to be rewarded by exploring almost immediately as you kind of curve around this small shelf edge. It gets a little bit more dangerous as to cross, but right in front of you, about 5 feet away, is the mouth to a cave. You can see a small stream trickling down, landing on this rocky shelf that it's on, and then going down into the cave. Hence, no visible kind of water dripping down the rest of the mountain. There are a couple escaping dribbles, but I'm assuming y'all jump in to the cave.
Yes.
I think I'm still just following them.
Yeah, Kesh has no idea where we're going. Somebody mentioned cave and waterfall, so he's just going off of that.
Okay. Well, I mean, you can feel pretty spot on here as you begin to enter into the cave. Maybe your eyes like drifting upwards. You can see it does incline downwards here, and the water makes it a little bit slippery. The right-hand side seems to be a little dry though, and easily navigatable. There's little bits of plants and such that seem to be kind of living off this small stream. They seem to have like almost decorated the top of the cave entrance here. You all pass into this cave on the side of the mountains. As we go back to Megan, as you put on the hood, your cloak of stars that you'd acquired in the Mage's Tower, you pull your hood up, and you were immediately surrounded by darkness. Something hasn't felt right, or doesn't feel right immediately to you, as you seem to be in water. Seem to be in water. But all around you is corruption, darkness, and nothing familiar. It's black. You sit upon a lake in a boat, a lake of cosmos, of stars, gently drifting.
Hello?
Echoes back, fades off.
The fuck?
As you look around, further off into the distance, you see kind of nebulous dust floating in the air. It seems to just exist. It seems to be so far away from you, further than any of the moons of the planet Orin that you're on. And you see large structures and cities, what could be castles that must belong to giants. They seem to rotate around, kind of endlessly caught. And somewhere else, far further away to your left, is a large spire with two heavenly gates, seeming, again, an impossible distance away. But you sit in a small rowboat, similar to the one that you crossed the Jade Lake in. It makes no ripples in the cosmic water that you're on. But there's a darkness, a darker than dark, the darkest shadow of your room when you lay down at night. It seems to permeate in small spots. It seems to be blotting out small pieces of light. And you can't see what it is, but it just feels wrong and awry. What do you do? How do you feel?
I feel freaked out, I'm gonna be honest. And also, is this a boat or a ship? What's the difference between a boat and a ship? So I can see this dust and this spire.
Yeah, and again, an impossible distance away. It almost just seems like you're floating on an endless lake here.
Are these the only sort of things that I can make out that are actual, I don't want to say landmarks, but you know what I mean? Actual...
Yeah, give me a... You can give me a history check or an arcana check or an amen, brother. Hell yeah. History or arcana, up to you.
Arcana.
I'll show you, this is a little bit of what you see far, far in the distance.
Okay.
But again, for you, you float kind of on this cosmic lake, as if you've been flipped upside down and started to row across the night sky.
I'm gonna give you a history and for why magic isn't really my thing. Kind of. I know it exists, but I also don't believe it's always what it is, kind of deal. So I'm gonna give you a history.
Good.
11.
Okay. I think you've, as you look around, you've heard of something similar. You maybe in like brief passing, maybe near a couple of scholars. It's like bits and pieces of information. And then for like as you start to grab onto the thought, some kind of astral plane, the cosmic realm, the planes of existences, it kind of spins around in your mind for a moment, and then out of nowhere, rather, you get it. You get how to be in the astral plane. You are far separated from the material plane, and you must think to go where you want. But there's, as you get that thought, you can feel a slight nagging, maybe tugging, the back of your cloak. Roll me an insight check.
Seven.
I think maybe there's a brief thought about that, like is injected into your mind about the sea, the astral sea that you're in. It just kind of, as you look down at the water, astral sea just comes to you. But you just seem to be floating.
Okay. That I feel like that spire is make the most sense to be interested in. Instead of rowing, I'm going to imagine myself being carried by the waves towards that thing. for a bit.
Okay. Almost like as you start to think of it, the boat just begins to move at a gentle pace. The ripples.
Weird.
The ripples left in the water, they only last for a brief second. Again, it as you like, the further you look out and the more that you look at it, as you get closer, you seem to get farther. But as you blink, it's just, again, it's an impossible distance. And the further that you travel towards it, the further that you unveil more of this lake, this sea of stars. You still thinking and pushing yourself and willing yourself towards it, yeah?
Yeah, you don't give up first try.
Did you say you don't give up the first try?
Yeah,
So
you
he said-
don't.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it does seem like you're moving. Again, it's an impossible distance to perceive, I think. And again, the more that you move forward, the more that you unveil. It's as if like there's a cone of darkness over you and you're just traveling and only seeing within a certain radius. But as time goes on, as you continue to push yourself, you feel the tug on your cloak further and further and further, harder and harder. It begins to continue to pull. What are you doing?
Being totally freaked out, does it seem to? Okay, I don't know, because there's no reference to know how far I'm moving. But does it feel like the more I'm moving, the stronger the tug is, as if it was directly
No.
tied? It doesn't.
No. Maybe the longer that you spend, the more that it tugs.
Okay.
As it comes to you.
And everything is this impossible, unimaginable distance away from me.
Yeah, it's just it does seem like you're making progress, but only barely. It's like looking at a planet. Right?
Corruption.
Mm-hmm.
Can I have a bit more info on the corruption?
Yeah, again, you see what looks like black blots in the sky and in the sea and all around you in this kind of perceived globe or sphere or whatever is illuminating, whatever's showing you the area around you on this cosmic lake. Those stars, for brief moments, they almost like a tumor is in the blackness, and small tentacles kind of wrap out, and you can see as they wrap out, the blot grows bigger, and a star is consumed. A light, and the blackness grows bigger. As you look down at the lake, you can see the same thing, although it's not reflected from what you're seeing above. It's something entirely different, some more 2D, but still the almost being strangled, as if a black fist was just blotting out all of the light. How long do you think you stare at the water for?
It's probably mesmerizing, because that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit longer than just sort of like looking at it and going, oh, that's the thing that's happening.
Yeah.
It's more like, taking it in, trying to figure out what it means.
Yeah, so maybe catches your eye. You see, it doesn't, it seems like there are thousands, so many stars. It would take so long for all of these blots even to eat them all up, but it does seem to be crushing them and strangling them. And as you gaze at the stars amidst the lake here, a line begins to form, perpendicular to the boat, almost in the middle of the boat. And an eyelid begins to open to reveal a massive, pale eyelid or eyeball with you as the pupil. Laying directly inside of it. Maybe you jump back in terror. Whatever happens, you realize that you're on a massive eye, and you can feel this corruption, this heavy presence. It's like weighing down on your chest, like squeezing you and crushing you. And you can see these tentacles. They start to come up the side of the boat and crack them. And that tug on your cloak, it fully, and you start to be whooshed away brought back to the material plane, but not before hearing.
Follow the York.
Hello?
Same voice from the tower echoes as you back onto the night plane, Vormir. The wind crossing the plains.
I don't even know what perpendicular is.
You can see you've moved a bit from where you were. Seem to have traveled somewhere. You're further up in the hills, and you're looking down currently at the small grove where you'd led the overweight bandit there. He's huffing against a tree. You're about 35-ish. You're 35 feet up on these similar zigzagged plateaus. You can see far down to the south. There seems to be a commotion. You can see torchlight and men climbing up the mountain, but everything around you might seem more serene and peaceful than that. The oppressive weight seems to be gone. But roll me one last insight check real quick.
Sure.
Sorry, buddy.
19.
19. I think maybe the same creeping feeling comes back from when you saw the red-headed elf standing in the doorway. That same terror, maybe the leftover feeling.
What were the words that I heard?
You heard "follow the orc" and then laughing.
Okay.
But it wasn't like a command. It was more like a rhetorical, like "follow the orc" and then laughing.
Okay.
Same voice, same presence. What are you doing?
I want to get my bearings. Can I figure out where I am to where I was to where I was supposed to meet the rest of the party?
Give me a perception check.
Perception. 10.
10.
10.
Like I said, you can see that you're about 35 feet up away from where you led him. So you've moved not too far, but you're a little bit up on the mountains. You've currently kind of like maybe landed ass first on a small like flat piece that's stuck out, no bigger than like 2 steps, and your back's kind of against the wall. From where you are, you can see a couple of maybe down to your south where the bandits are climbing the mountain. You can see nearby there are a couple of caves that dot the landscape of the mountain, but no real indication of where you were all supposed to meet. It looks like you've gotten up a little bit far enough that you can't really see the bottom kind of ring here of the bottom of the mountains to make a landmark.
Okay. But I can kind of tell that I've gone more north from where I was.
Yeah, like more northwest, yeah.
Okay, so I want to go... I want to go east?
Say you're...
I want to go southeast? Is that right? I don't know. I was just...
You want to go southwest? Yeah, you're looking... Here, I'll draw you a little... Can we give a smiley face for Peachy? There you go. So if you look to your south, on the map here, where this gold ring is currently where like the party's going up, okay. And that's also where you see all of these Burning Thorns members. It's like a situation where you left and saw 5 of them like dead, 1 of them in front of you, and as you've come back, there's like a horde of them again. They seem to be spilling out of the trees, and you can see a couple of lights coming in from
for action.
Yeah, they seem to be kind of going up the mountains and with like vigor, okay. Like running and chasing and.
In that case, I am going to grab a handful of caltrops. And I'm going to start making my way towards that group because that sounds about the right amount of people to actually fight Taldro.
Okay. Yeah. Are you going up at all, or are you staying the same level? We'll just say for these mountains here that you can do either. These both are easily manageable. You guys just have to tell me what you want to do.
If it's not too difficult to go up a little bit, that would make sense.
Yeah, sure. Okay, roll me an athletics check as you start to push across.
Oh boy.
A 4. Okay, so it takes you quite a bit. Not maybe not as quick as you thought you would be.
If it's starting to slow me down.
Not the climbing up, but just the general journey takes a little bit. Yeah. Well, sorry, what were you going to say? Just
well, if it's slow, maybe I'll start angling myself down so I can move a bit faster because I want to get closer.
Okay.
That's the most important thing. So instead of going straight or up, if I use the gravity to my advantage.
Okay, I'll give you advantage on that. You can roll me another one.
Oh. Okay.
Well, we'll just assume you're taking the easier path here, right? Each time. So
how about a 19J?
Natural 20 -1. Oh, okay. It's like that's the second time now I've been like advantage or disadvantage, and it's gotten that monster roll. Yeah. So there's maybe you find out that, or maybe you quickly think that going up won't be fruitful, so you begin to go down. There's a couple of moments where you're running down at these downward angles and you have to leap up and go up another quick diagonal angle. It doesn't take that long now to make it over to kind of roughly about 10 feet away, hidden by the terrain from where about 5 burning thorns bandits are still climbing up the mountains. You can hear them like loudly complaining, and one of them says to the other, he's "Why are we chasing them?" And then the other one, he continues and he says, "We could just wait on the other side," and begins climbing up still. A couple rocks kick down below and hits another one in the face. And he's, "Hey, don't! We're climbing to chase them through the mountains. We're waiting on the other side as well." And like blood starts to drip as he takes a large rock in the face. What are you doing?
What kind of distance? That guy just got had a rock yeeted at his face.
Yeah, just basically yeeted, kind of crushes down.
What kind of far away is he from the others?
He's about in the middle. The larger there's like 2 larger men that are on the right hand side, which is where you are. You're about 10 feet away, and we'll say a little bit below them.
I think they are basically going to lead me to where I go, because I know the others aren't very stealthy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one of them is. One of them is the one.
Yeah.
She's
gonna fall in line.
There's 2 that really, really, really aren't. Kale.
So what's the plan here?
I would like to try and follow them, but I want to make sure there's enough distance and angles, and I want to do it stealthily.
Yeah. Okay. So roll me a stealth check. You just want to follow them without compromising your position, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, without them knowing I'm here. Yeah.
Yeah. Roll me a stealth check.
Stealth check.
And
13. I rolled a 3.
13. Okay. So you fall in line behind them. You catch a little bit of wind of their conversation. Give me a perception check with disadvantage. With that 13, I'll say you're staying a little bit farther behind them. There's also a couple of groups that are spottedly making their way up the mountain beneath you. A bit further down, but you almost fall into a position where you get kind of sandwiched, and you have to now follow this group and stay up with them. 17. Okay. So as you're climbing, there's a point, say about 5 minutes pass, where they start to climb as well, and there's a brief moment where they take a break. You get a little closer into range, and you can further hear this conversation that was just previously mumbles before. The moment that you catch of them coming in is the gruffer one that had first spoken. You just kind of catch the queen wants her dead. Sorry, dead. So we have to find her. The orc
wants her dead.
That's what you'd heard. Yeah. You heard the orc
We can take him alive. But the queen wants her dead.
And you hear another like younger voice. He's, but why? What about the monk?
It doesn't matter. Queen wants her dead.
What? Why? What, dude? What are we doing this for? Why are we chasing them? We've been chasing them for months now. And you hear the voice kind of retort.
He says, because we're paid, and the queen wants her dead.
And then like as there's like a cry of pain from the younger voice, another voice beside, separate from all of them, beside the younger voice, speaks up and says, yes, we have to take them back to Rats or our camp, show the bodies to the queen. All we need is a white raven. You can spear that orc in the gut, kill the cleric. She's presumably not wearing armor. Show it to the damn bird, and then the job's fucking done. And you hear the first voice speak up.
Yes. Show it to the birds. And if you see them, fuck the horns. Show the birds. Queen told us to move to the front of Peak Cliff. She was right, but she was also wrong. Fuck the horns.
And then the more gruff voice, or the second voice that had spoken, says, we have to move on. Come. And they start to pick up. There's a couple of sounds from beneath you as there are quite a few climbers about 10-ish feet away. Give me another stealth check real quick.
Oh, big money, no whammy. 27.
Okay, so you hear the crackling of rocks like behind you. You quickly you can wedge yourself into two rocks that hide you well enough, and there's someone that you can hear their footsteps crackle or kind of stop next to you, and then calls up, "Hello, is that you?" And then the gruffer voice,
"Oh, is that you? Yes, Arden, get up here. Come on, come join the hunt."
And you hear the voice speak back right next to you. Yes, I'm coming. It's been a while. As it climbs up, you hear the voice kind of one final time speak back. It says,
"Must be a shit show if they've sent you. Good thing. Orc is strong."
He said, "Yes, that's why they sent me. I heard he's been throwing them from things."
As he's
What are you doing?
As he's starting to scramble off,
Mm-hmm.
can I just like hook his toe without moving and compromising myself? Can I just kind of like, as he's trying to lift his toe, and I mean he's climbing a mountain, so this might be helpful.
Now you want to know if you did that, would it alert him, or you just want to do it?
I kind of just want to do it.
Okay.
I'm not trying to yank him off. I'm trying to sort of trip him up. It's easy to trip someone up. If they're climbing a mountain, I feel like that's a bit more of a problem.
Totally.
If they get tripped up on a mountain.
Give me a sleight of hand check.
Oh, okay. Let's do it.
24. Okay, so as he begins to climb up there and saying those final lines, his foot still maybe drags on this part of the plateau for a minute. You just want to like pull?
Yeah, just.
Yeah. Okay. You give a pull. Give me a quick athletics check.
Oh, here we go. I need this. Oh, -1. Here we go. Fuck my titty.
So it doesn't. It's like one of those like he goes and your hands meeting there and his boots just slip by. You don't pull him off like you're expecting. He's a lot taller, maybe, and larger than you're expecting. But
Who's that?
Huh. I am the mountain.
Vines in the mountains. Huh. Almost lost it. And you hear the gruff voice.
Ha! Wouldn't have been able to kill the orc without you.
There's like a shaky laugh in response. As they start to walk along the ridge there. There's a couple more words exchanged describing Taldro. You can hear like a rundown definition of Taldro and what he carries, as well as mention of his large sword that he carries around. This carries on, I think, for a while. As we swap back over to Kesh, Taldro, and Kale, you've all been walking through this kind of winding, these winding corridors here, naturally formed. A couple of them are very tight and seem to be like claustrophobic at some points, but thankfully you don't have your armor on, and you can easily slip by. Give me some quick, we'll say athletics or acrobatics checks. As the water continuously runs down this incline here, you all take the dry route. 18, 20 acrobatics from Kesh, and a 19 athletics from Taldro. You make good pace. And you don't get caught up on these kind of claustrophobic, narrow edges for far too long. The water seems to run and run and run the length of this cavern that continuously seems to go further down. It seems to be going not at a steep rate, but you are going down at a decent distance, if that makes sense. So it's not too steep, but the further that you walk down this, you can realize that you are going further and further underground. How do you guys feel about that? As you're kind of trotting along these stalagmite and stalactite-filled caves.
We're at least heading in this direction, right?
Yeah, I think. Give me I won't make you guys roll. Yeah, the caves have been pretty straight so far. Just claustrophobic. You can tell you're heading in like a western direction. Yeah.
Okay.
Good enough for me then.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I think Kesh is just moving down, but sweating.
Sweating.
Yeah. I'm gonna pull him aside and cure wounds, since I have noticed this this injury here.
Okay.
Let's see. 14.
Yeah, so what does this look like as you grab his hand? Like, what are you doing to it?
So I probably support his wrists with one hand and then kind of hover over his palm with the other, but it is that kind of teal, cloudy energy that you see.
Yeah, it takes over. It kind of swirls around your hand there, Kesh, for a moment. It illuminates in the cave. Your dark vision goes a little weird, and you can see the nub. It stops spouting blood, but you see the bone. It's not been snapped in like a clean way. It's like jagged. The skin starts to scab over and form a strange, almost like dagger-like finger that no longer has the end of it. It doesn't grow it back anymore. Just heals the skin, fleshy and pink.
Thank you. Appreciated.
Of course.
That's disgusting.
But it's better. At least.
Kesh just keeps looking at it. Just it's different. Nothing like that's ever happened. And broken bone's a broken bone, but missing is missing. Makes a fist a few times. Just let's keep going. We need to go.
You lead on. I will make sure they do not follow.
Yeah, Kesh just tracks on, and every once in a while just does the fist grip.
Yeah. Full circle.
No shit.
Full circle. That's where we're going to go to a break real quick. I'll take a quick 5-minute break. Thanks everyone so much for watching. As you continue down further into the cave here, Megan hopefully catches up following the group outside. Thanks everyone so much for tuning in. Don't forget that we've got a new show starting tomorrow here on Table Story, 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. I'm going to be there. There's going to be some other awesome people, mostly me. Make sure to stop by for me. Thank you so much for watching. Do we have anything else to shout out, Brad? I'm drawing a blank for some reason.
No, that's about it. We've got Magical Kitties Part 2 on Saturday.
Yes.
And yeah, new show tomorrow. I'll play a little I'll play the cast announcement thing right now. You're welcome.
Right now. We'll see you guys soon. Go join our Discord.
Perception alters reality. But what makes something real? You do. The VRT Rig Beta for Numenera, the Ninth World. Coming soon to your favorite Twitch streamers. Join them to see a sneak peek of the world's first virtual reality tabletop RPG.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back.
Hello, welcome back. What Brad said, what I said. Hello. Thanks for hanging with us. Thanks for sticking with us through the break. So, y'all like D&D? I do.
Don't care
I like
for
my
it.
fingers.
He can D in my D.
There
Got it.
needs to be a third one, Brad, because that's the second time you've done that. Basically, the same joke. I need a third one.
I
from
literally
you.
just did it for you.
I need a third one.
You can third in my one.
There you go. The
You can just say
trifecta.
anything.
Yeah.
You can any in my thing.
As long as your mind is warped enough to reach out and forcibly twist it, you can say anything. Guys, just remember that what I said today. Add quote, you can say anything. Trust me.
I mean, there's nothing physically stopping you.
Within the next week, 25 people who are in chat are about to be cancelled.
But Brad said I could say anything. What do you mean? I just came into RagTags. I said this is boring, and I got banned. He said I could say anything.
You can say anything. I didn't say there wouldn't be repercussions. I'm just saying you can say anything you want.
I can't wait. Well, listen, we're saying that's the inevitable. Like, that's going to happen. There's going to be kids that are coming into chat yelling at you.
No, they would never. They would never. Twitch chat are always lovely, 100% of the time. Just like YouTube comments and Twitter mentions. He killed himself? Has his mic died? Yeah.
Dude, what? Sorry, I didn't even.
Why doesn't his mic work?
I don't know,
Do
man.
we need to do something? Jay, can you hear us?
Hello?
Jay?
You got me?
Do
Hello?
like a wave at the camera.
Hello.
Wave at the... Oh no, I better not do that because he'll know.
All right, you guys ready?
What do we do about this?
Good
Do we
to
need to
go.
call him on Discord? God damn it, why can't we just keep that going for an hour?
You had me convinced there with that last one. I was like, oh
Yeah,
man,
you guys,
he's actually.
you other three are the worst.
Your travels down this passage, as you kind of navigate down this corridor here, you reach a point where yet again you have to squeeze through, but you can hear the rush of water on the opposite end of this this small gap that looks like it's kind of angled out into a larger corridor. As you look through it, you can see a kind of frothing stream that is kind of seemingly come out of nowhere, and it's rushing. There's like a hot, damp air around it, and it's like these large clouds of froth are like washing over you for a moment, and they feel like hot. You can see, as if you were to navigate through the hole, there's a small path where you can fit aside the water, but it looks quite dangerous. I'll show you guys what I mean. Let me know if the map loads well for you. Shut the fuck up, PG. Yes, no, yeah, we good?
Yep.
All right,
Sorry,
perfect. Ignore Megan. He's just got to be there so we can see what y'all are doing. But you can see a gap that you could navigate through. It seems to be the only way into the cavern here, or to continue on with your path. You guys go through?
If it's the only way.
Yeah, we're just pushing through.
Okay. So as you navigate through and come out into this larger cavern here, you can see the water seems to be coming from another large hole. It just seems like water is like slowly eroded this gap and bursts forth from it in the wall. And immediately you're hit with like sweltering heat as the froth kind of washes up every time the water rushes by you. It's going like somewhat fast, like fast enough if Kale or Kesh were to maybe jump in, they might be swept away. I think you could assume that. And there's a small little shoreline that you have to follow before the path doesn't seem to be able to be navigated along the side anymore. You might have to cross the river. What are you all doing? You're like huddled up against these rocks, this rock wall here, kind of trying to hold yourselves in on the stalagmites and stalactites, this water rushing past you. What are you all doing?
Getting past this as best we can. If we've got to cross, then
Yeah, just hop, skip, jump, and
yep, keep moving forward.
How fast is it going? By the way, is it subtly just kind of like trickling through, or is it just more a little bit more rushing?
Fast enough that if you and Kale were to fall in or step in unawares, you can assume that you would be immediately caught. Not fast enough maybe that you can't save yourself, but just swipe your legs out from underneath. Do any of you like reach down and test the water or anything? What are you all like doing here as you're standing on the shore of this?
Does it look really like crazy river rapids rushing, or?
No, but enough to sweep you off your feet if you're unaware. Yeah.
My feet or their feet?
Their feet.
Yeah, that's what I thought, bitches. You little fucking weaklings, little runt.
But yeah, it's coming to a point here where you're sidling up the edge of this cave, right? Avoiding this stream. And then there's a moment, maybe Taldro, Kesh, whoever's leading, you reach the end of this kind of shoreline, where it the river meets the rock, and the wall bars you from kind of sneaking around it anymore. There's a 10 feet across the small stream here is what looks to be an open landing and another shoreline that kind of snakes along the left-hand side. While you're doing this, roll me perception checks.
No, I'm good.
Okay. Taldro. A natural 1 from Kesh.
All right, it takes me ages sometimes because I got 2 roll 20s up, and I click on perception, and I look, and it doesn't come up, and I click on it again, and I realize it's this one that I need to look at. 9.
Okay, 9. So we get a natural 1 from Kesh, an 18 from Kale, and a 9 from Taldro. As you're standing here, Kale, just over the rushing water sounds, you can hear echoing down into the caverns. You hear a manly voice, or what could be the guards or the bandits, kind of echoing down. You hear, "Find them, spread out, and search."
Does it sound like it's coming from the entrance, like from where we came?
Yeah, from further up the corridor that you just walked down. It seems to echo down and then it mutes as it hits the rush of the water here. But you hear it just over as somebody barks an order from further up.
The water is west.
Yes.
If we were to follow the water, it would lead us west.
Yeah, you guys. Yeah. That would still be in the same direction you're traveling.
Am I able to? I want a minor illusion, like a not so much a roar, but almost like a disturbed beast, just more of like grumble and just loud enough in that direction where it'll echo and it'll slow them the hell down.
Yeah, roll me an intimidation check.
Sure. Oh, this will go well. So, all right, 17.
Okay. You just past the gap here, maybe, as you do this small cantrip incantation, immediately there's a loud beast that maybe you've heard on the plains, maybe mimicking the chimera or something else, as it shrieks throughout the cave and echoes. You can hear it ricocheting up and further out, and then from further up, there's a shriek and a cry, and you can hear, "Oh, what the fuck was that? What was it? I don't know."
Kesh just gets this little grin on his face, just being the one time he actually gets to be a little mischievous.
So, are you guys crossing the river? Doesn't look.
I'm getting in the river
safe.
slowly and quietly to see if I can bear the brunt of the rapids part of it.
Give me a con check. Or con saving throw, sorry. A constitution saving throw.
Holy shit, it's poison, everyone. The river is made of poison. Con save.
It's the dream.
16, thanks.
16. As you step in, you feel an immense heat start to like being in the that hot spring that you've been in near the burned temple. It's almost reminiscent of that. As you step in, you abide and you kind of like stay strong for a moment. It doesn't seem to sweep you away. It doesn't seem to be going fast enough, but it's more so like this hot, frothing water that seems to spill against your boots. I don't know how far you'd like to get in, but regardless of where it laps up.
It's unbearably hot?
No, you pass.
But it would be unbearably hot if I had failed. Like I can tell, I guess, whether.
Yeah, I think
I'm testing
potentially...
it somewhat for Kale and Kesh as well. In that I want to get in it and I'll be like, oh, you guys can totally handle this, or I get in this and I'm like, they will die.
Give me an insight check, real quick.
Just a ballpark. I don't think if it's probably, to be honest, even if it's bad enough that I'm having to con save and if I'm vaguely aware of that, I won't suggest the thing that I was going to suggest to them. But
I think you can tell that it's it could be manageable if they had like maybe steal themselves, but it's probably safer not to go in, as you can feel like the heat starting to like sap at your strength as even as you're standing in there. You can feel your feet almost giving way.
Summon them in close to me because I know that we have to be quiet. And I say,
it's very hot, like really hot for some reason. I can just about deal with it, but I am concerned. I do not know why this is the case. We should not follow this.
But it does go west. Do you mean we cannot get in it?
I think if we stay in it too long, it will be bad.
I'm already trying to pick up Kale and put her on my back. Or I'm like,
Kale, what are you doing? You letting him?
Probably going sort of limp. I mean, it's not the first time this has happened. I'm still thinking about the water, like the boiling water, and I'm thinking about those voices that we heard. And
I'm like, I'm already going. Like, I'm with Kale on my back like a backpack. I just start moving down the river. I mean, I don't know if I can see this thing from where I am, but if I see that, I'll probably immediately go for the first way out as soon as I can.
Okay. How do I do what is it? The
fog of war or something?
Is it control? Oh my fucking god.
To see what we can see?
Yeah, hold on. Here we go.
There we go.
There we go.
There you guys go. My bad.
Yeah, assuming I'm just gonna.
Yeah, you guys, if you push out further, far enough, we'll say like as you go here, you can start to see this rock here.
As soon as I can see any other natural cavern, I'll probably get out and head towards it. Is really.
Yeah. It looks like you can climb over it.
We're able to see. Is this edge on the other side of the stream? Like, is that within like sight, or is it like equal level of where we're at right now?
You can. It's like a small the river, if that's what you're asking. Like
basically, is from where we are, is it like the same level of where?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It too is a small lip. Yeah. What you're standing on, it looks like the water's like eroded it. So yeah.
Okay.
Taldro, you pick up Kale and you start to walk through. Give me another Constitution saving throw. just put yourselves where you'd like to. I mean, you guys have seen that corridor there on the map, so put yourselves where you'd like to.
Oh dear. 4.
Ooh, never mind. Okay, so as you begin to walk a little further, your legs they start to burn. They start to like severely burn. You can feel them pushing. You can feel the strength being sapped from you. You've got Kale in the middle of this river right now. What are you doing? If you hold on to her,
am I gonna fall over, or
I feel
can
like,
I?
Yeah. I was gonna say, if you hold on to her for a little bit more, you feel like you're going to lose your strength and be tugged away at the river. It's not too deep, but it is very, very hot.
I'll probably just launch her off my back then. I'd rather it than she fall. She can handle being thrown to the ground rather than fall in the boiling water.
Yeah, which way are you throwing her, right or left on the map there?
Which, if that doesn't look like a lot of space there, so I guess that way.
Okay. So you quickly kind of, Kale, you just get pushed, thrown off to the left. You land on this shore, kind of rolling and careening into the wall. Caldro, as you're doing that, you can feel the current starting to slip underneath your feet. Give me a strength save.
Can I see him struggling, or is it more of something?
Oh my god, I got a natural 1, which is still an 8, but is a natural 1.
I think you can see him struggling, and he pushes. What are you trying to do, Kesh?
Just how far out is he? Like 5 feet or so?
He's
just
about 5 feet from you, yeah.
Okay.
Come on, what are you trying to do?
He's gonna try his best and actually like brace up, just not go too far deep in, but just enough to kind of get a footing in the water and see if he can just at least get an arm out, just to like pull him in just a bit.
Okay, give me a dexterity check here as Taldro, as you toss, when you gain your footing there for a second, another gush comes and your left foot goes, and you begin to fall.
20.
As you reach out, Kesh, you just barely grab the tunic of him, but it slips through your fingers, and Taldro begins to wash down in the current. Just a couple of feet away, but your head's maybe taken under. You move 10 feet down, and you're not entirely swept away, but the strength, it feels it's like it's just being pulled from your body by this enormous heat. Give me another Constitution saving throw. As you see, Caldro quickly goes down.
Oh my god, 4.
And then comes back up under the water. Kale, you watch Taldro start to wash, and as you...
Am I still vaguely conscious?
The heat overcomes you,
okay,
and you can fight it and take a point of exhaustion, or you can give in. What do you do? Just washing over, it's starting to get in your mouth and down your throat. It's hot. It is hot. It's like being blasted in the face with the water from the thermal spring, but at high speeds.
Phrasing. The thing is, I'm worried that Kesh is gonna like dive in and try and save me, because that's what he does. He's like, "Oh no, the rogue who's perfectly safe." Yeah. And I really don't want him to, so I want to fight against it and be like, "Just don't go in the water." But I don't think I will, because I mean, I'm not going to because of the exhaustion, which is meta. So I will. I think I'll fight against it. I'll take the exhaustion point, and I will just like, all I want to do is surface and shout, "Don't get in the water!" And then I'm gone.
Kesh is gonna actually dash and leap across the 10-foot gap.
All right, give me an acrobatics or athletics check.
Acrobatics. 18.
18. Give me a dexterity saving throw as you leap, your feet kind of leaving.
19.
Oh, 19. You make it. You crash. Oh.
You died again.
I
Nope. See, the problem is we tried both. Oh, there you go.
However, sorry, I punched my desk. Your knee hits, like your shin slams into the lip of the opposite edge, but you make it, kind of stumbling and sputtering across. You take a hard fall on the knee though, and you roll kind of into Kale. At the same time, Taldro, give me an athletics check or acrobatics check if you'd like to pull yourself out of the water with disadvantage, as you're now exhausted.
I mean, I guess it cancels it out. So 20.
20, yeah.
Thank you, gloves.
So where do you want to go here on the map? This
Anywhere.
is a small...
Just fucking put me on the land.
Yeah, so you just
fucking
pull yourself up.
Grab and then just...
You get halfway out.
Sizzling.
Yeah.
Sashimi. Or whatever it's called, the cooked one.
Sashimi.
Sizzling. Sashimi or whatever.
I'm dying. It's so hot. I'm not being straight. So this is perfect. Method
you see
acting.
Taldro about 10-15 feet away from you, just he resurfaces and pulls himself up onto land, but his legs are still about halfway, and he's trying to pull himself through. He's doing it slowly, but he seems safe.
And I'm yelling, "Are you all right? Can you get all the way out?"
I am, or I'm not. I'm just half out.
Yeah, we'll say like you're half out, crawling out. You'll be safe
I'm like doing
in a moment.
The killer whale thing.
Exhausted, dead on the beach.
I'm doing
climbing up.
I hate you.
Yeah, I'm like, don't go in the water. It's very hot. I'm fine.
All right. Well,
I'm just like laying on my back.
Yeah. Slumps over, rolls over, gets out of the water fully.
You need to figure out some other way, and quickly. They will catch up with you.
we need to get to your side so I can heal you and carry on. Or perhaps there's a bridge or something, or...
I'm not hot. Just don't go in there. It's, sap my energy quickly.
I'm gonna start ahead here and see if I can find any way across, or...
You guys can move freely on the logical portions of this map here. There's that small little shore down here. Yep, to your south, with a small gap in between where the water starts to rush. If you want to pass over, give me a quick athletics or acrobatics check.
How open is this? Is it like a foot or two kind of gap, or
about a foot or two? Yeah, it's barely about 5 feet. The most you guys can make it to is about here, I'd say, if on this shore. Give me an athletics or acrobatics check as you try and cross over that small little hump there. It's just a small little gap that looks like it's been eroded away.
Okay. Athletics.
All right.
5.
It's enough. It barely. It's enough as you hop over. There's a couple of rocks that you can cling onto.
are you all right?
Yes,
Kind of.
I made it.
All right, give me 1 second. I'll help you
Alright.
across. I'm just gonna jump over that as well. 19.
Easy.
All right. Shit. He's tucked out. All right. I'm gonna grab your arm. Gonna toss you. You're gonna jump as you hit the edge, and you are going as far as you can. All right.
All right.
All right. I want to kind of give it the extra boost of I guess speed to just kind of momentum to get her across.
Yeah. Okay. Give me a athletics check here.
Who?
Kesh, because he's the one throwing. Yeah,
Gotcha.
you're the one throwing her.
All right. Athletics. 14.
14 makes it. Kind of grab her and you get sent off, Kale. It's you land kind of, I'd say, chest first, so your legs don't smash into the lip, but you land fully on your chest and you kind of slide in, almost hitting your head off of a rock in front of you. Kale's across. Kesh.
All right. When I see she's actually on shore and good, I'm gonna go ahead and do the dash jump again. So just
Other athletics or acrobatics? Natural 1, my friend.
As it should be.
You throw her, and you go to take your step, charging. And as you go, piece of the lip crumbles underneath you, and your foot directly down into the water. Give me a Constitution saving throw.
With pleasure.
As you enter the water
again.
Immediately you fall. Like you do a kind of awkward split. Kale, I'm assuming you're crawling towards Taldra to inspect him, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah. And so as you're crawling towards, you hear a of Kesh hitting the water. Give me a strength save, Kesh, as you are kind of thrown into the you fall in right down here, we'll say 21. So there's a moment as you're kind of pushed underwater. You can hear it all rushing around you. It's sapping the strength from you with the heat. It seems to get into every single spot. You flow a little further down into the river where there is a coming up, there's a small ledge that you can grab yourself and just hold for now. It's just enough to hold. Give me another Constitution saving throw.
Ooh, not an 8. Oh, good. Thanks. 10.
Okay. And you can just barely begin to pull yourself up, and you suffer kind of a similar fate here as Taldro. Not exhausted, but you pull yourself up onto this ledge. You can see it kind of precariously leads over to the shore that Kale had led onto, but I think like as you sit down, you were drenched and on the verge of exhaustion from the heat of the water. But Kale, you just hear as he goes. What are you all doing?
So I heard him splash in the water.
Yeah.
So I'll rush over to see if I can pull him out.
Yeah, as you turn around, he's like gone, and then I think you maybe catch a quick glimpse of him kind of flit past you here.
Yeah.
But for right now, you don't know where he is.
Yeah, at the moment he's out of breath and just.
And I'm afraid to shout for him.
Just heard bunch of mouth breathers.
I'm afraid to shout for him because we have potential pursuers. So I'll go back. I'm not going to tell Taldro because it'll just stress him out, perhaps. And I'm going to assess whether Taldro needs healing or if he's just exhausted.
Okay, give me a medicine check here.
Okay. 19. You can tell it's just a deep level of exhaustion. There's a couple of like burns maybe that have started on his legs, but they don't seem to be too severe. You can just see his skin is like piping red. Mm-hmm. But he looks okay otherwise, just tired.
Are you all right, Taldro?
No, I'm fine. I begin to stand up.
Well, we need to find Kesh. You see, he might have fallen in the water, and I couldn't see him, so I could not pull him out, and now we must find him.
Okay. He went down the river?
I'm afraid so.
In my head, I'm like, he's dead.
I already went this way,
dead.
so I'll start leading us
Be
this
very
way.
careful. That is not a nice. And then you're going that way. And I'm like, yeah, good girl. She's just leaving the guy behind, like that guy. I mean, I follow as well. Then I will. Wherever she goes, I'll be behind.
Yeah, your voices start to like echo around you as you pass down this old mining shaft. You can see some of these wooden pillars that are supporting and holding up the caves. This part of the caves, as you go further down where you're going, seems to be not natural, man-made. Kesh, what are you doing here as you sit atop this ledge? The water rushing past you. Across from you is that shore.
Mm-hmm.
What are you up to?
How thin is this little tidbit? Is it too
thin enough to be incredibly dangerous, but you might be able to swing around and navigate it if you.
All right.
You can.
Looking at this little part of the water, is it more of a dead end for it, or is it sweeping underneath into like I guess like a cove or something like that?
That's a good question. Give me an investigation check real quick.
With a
looking down there.
Pleasure. 14.
14. It looks to be like a dead end, like a small pool, but you can see what looks like the straps of a backpack kind of sticking out, like nestled as if it had been washed up to the very back of this small little reservoir there. It seems to pool, not too violently, and then go back into the river, but you do see a small soggy backpack.
Just gonna look at it a bit. If it seems easy enough to get, you just swipe it up and just... all right.
Yes, it's heavy and waterlogged. Most of it starts to spill out through these holes, like small holes in the side where most of the weight is. But you can still feel some kind of object in the bag as you pull it dripping out of the river here.
Just pick it up, kind of, I guess, open it. Does it look, I guess the bag look like torn, labels, and anything that's going to distinguish it from every other backpack in the world?
On a 14... Yeah, you find a couple of like moldy and like soggy books. Most of it, like as the water drains out, there are pages that have just kind of melted or something, and they seem to be washing in. It seems to be like utterly destroyed. But deep down underneath the pages, you don't find any identification. You find a kind of sterling silver key. It can fit in your fingers, like 2 inches, 3 inches tall, and doesn't look incredibly ornate. There's no fanciful design to it. Just seems like it has one of those typical triple crown flowers on top.
Digs around. Is there anything that's in the pack that the key would open, or is it just the books and key?
Just plenty of books and like muddled mush, and there's a small bag that seems to like come apart as your hands pull it. Just seems to contain a smaller handheld book, some writing utensils, and some ink or an ink pot that's long been washed away.
Anything on the covers that can be like distinguished as far as
give me another investigation check.
Sure. 3.
No, I think like as you're maybe pulling a couple of them out, 2 of them, like straight up just half of the book falls into the water. Doesn't seem to be anything on the cover. Whatever leather cover it had been like torn away. Nothing distinguishable, just a key.
Okay. Yeah, just looking at the key, just tucks it away, just just in case. Obviously nothing can be salvaged from everything else. Do I see a body or anything that might a bonus with the bag?
No, nothing. No, nothing else where you are.
All right. In that case, looking that this would just be the safer jump rather than the thin layer. He just goes leaps across and see.
All right.
What else is there?
Athletics or acrobatics, my friend?
Oh, for the love of God. 9.
9. As you jump the gap here, you miss yet again. The slippery, all the water on your boots. Maybe your foot slips how you didn't want it to, and you again come crashing into the lip of the rocks here. Give me a strength or dexterity saving throw.
Don't fuck me. That's a 14.
Okay, you quickly latch on, slowly pull yourself forward as you kind of pull yourself up narrowly onto the next part. What are you doing? Are you following this cavern here? As you come to this seems like a somewhat man-made cavern. You can see typical kind of supports of a mine shaft here, or any other seemingly industrious cavern.
Does it look like anything has been here recently? I
guess. Survival check?
Sure. I'm just basic footprints. Nothing too specific. 13.
On a 13, you can tell that like something has been through here. There's a path made on the ground, like as if something was dragged through. Maybe not ominously, but it just seems like a wide kind of even path that just seems to like move through the sand as if something heavy was dragged. You can't tell how long they were here, but something wide came through here. No footprints now.
Gonna be sneaking from now on, so just stealthing around.
Yeah, give me a stealth check as you move forward.
Sure. 25.
Okay. You duck down and begin to push forward. Taldro and Kale on the other side of the wall. What are you two doing?
Since
go ahead.
I've gotten to this point and haven't seen water yet, and I probably dipped in here. I'll say, Taldro, you tired? You wait? And I'm scurrying back over here. And this time, when I'm over at this point, I'm gonna cup my hands around my mouth and say, Cash.
Okay.
I was afraid to shout for him before, but now I don't see that we can get back to the water going the way that we went.
Give me a perception check, Kesh, with disadvantage here.
Double sure. 17.
17. Okay. Okay, yeah, faintly from behind you, like right as you start to duck in, you hear just from probably that corner that you were still looking at, you can hear a voice, Cash, start to carry out across the waves here a little bit.
Immediately kind of whip around. Do I recognize the voice at all, or is it just more of a...
Yeah, you hear Kale. Yeah, okay. I think you can hear it. It's Kale whispering, is what you realize after a second.
Turn around and I guess make my way back over to the edge of the water, just kind of looking for any sign of her.
Are you like gripping this and kind of peering around this this edge here?
Now that I know Taldro's not dying, and I've checked to get back to the water on the other side, this seems my only hope to figure out what the hell happened to him. So I'd be
Yeah, it's a little precarious to lean over here, but you see Kale's head pop into view on the other side of that corner, just across the gap that you jumped.
Do I see him?
Yeah, I think you see him. Maybe not at first.
Dark vision.
Yeah, maybe not at first, but then you see like something move. You realize he was being a little stealthy.
Yeah, I would make my presence known at that point. I mean,
I was like, oh, thank Eldath. Kesh, you're out of the water.
I'm all right. It's just kind of looking around, just not. It's a little uneasy still, just kind of being separated. Are you two all right? Are you good?
We're fine. Taldro's a bit exhausted, but we're all right. How do we get to you?
I don't know. And looking at the I guess the supports throughout the cave, I think there's just, this looks different. Supports in
it does over here as well, and I've seen some tracks.
I did too. Give me 5 minutes down this route. If I don't find you, then I'll turn around and I'll make my way over to you.
All right, we'll head down our way. You head yours.
All right. In 5 minutes, we don't meet up. I'll see you soon.
All right.
All right. And then just Kesh kind of turns around and just heads down his side.
Okay. Kale, what are you doing?
Heading back to where I saw these tracks, and I'm heading back and say,
Taldro, he's safe. He's just on the other side. I do not know how to get to him, but he's safe. He's out of the water.
Might not mean safe. What should we do?
Head this way. He's heading down his path.
Okay.
I just follow her.
Okay. You two start to follow these mine shaft tracks down. As we go over to Peachy, Mr. Megan. So we swap scenes here. You two starting to enter the caves ahead of you. There's been a slight stop further up on the mountains, where, unfortunately, right as you were following them, you almost got bumped into. As they had gone into the cave, they being the Burning Thorns bandits you were following here, and then were quickly running out of the cave as if they were about to die. almost colliding with you as you had started to follow them in. Roll me a perception check here as I'm assuming you're still trying to follow them in, yeah?
Yeah.
It's been...
Caldrell's right here.
Yeah.
That's the only person that could make that happen.
Right.
But do you want a perception, sorry?
A perception check, please.
A perceptione.
13. Okay. Just to your right, a little further away on the mountains as well, you can see a couple of Burning Thorns bandits here. They don't seem to be able to see you thanks to the terrain, but you can see them kind of leaning in to another cave as well. They seem to be peering in and talk to each other briefly for a moment, and one of them walks in and walks out with his hair like blown. It's blown back. You see everything about him looks disheveled. The scarf that he was wearing seems untangled just after a moment or two of stepping into this cave. And he comes back out looking as if he had been hit with, like, stood on top of a mountain and hit with a large gust of wind. And they begin to talk to each other again. But further up on the ridge, you hear the gruff voice who had previously left rejoins and says, "The fuck are you doing? Get in!" And you hear another one, "But there's something in the cave that this can't be where they've gone." And you hear the gruff voice reply again, "Fuck off! There's blood on the ground. Find them. Press into the cave. Kill anything you find. We'll send more." And a quick acknowledgement of them. As they begin to step into this cave here, with a small stream, it's kind of trickling off, coming down. You can see some mossy leaves around the entrance of the cave. You see a white raven perched on the top of the cave. He's looking up at it. "We'll see you on the other side, birdie." And as it takes off, flying away a slight bit. Okay, give me a stealth check. I can't remember what your stealth was from before. Actually, just give me a stealth check.
12.
Just give me another stealth check here.
20.
20, all right.
Not a natural 20.
As it takes off, maybe you pull yourself into the cliff a little bit more. After a couple moments, you hear the footsteps die away down inside the cave. The plains below you seem animated and alive. It's still nighttime here, so you can see the torches kind of swaying wildly. Some small camps have been set up, and a majority of the forces from the northeastern town here, Mort, have pulled back kind of to where you fought those 5-6 guards. But it seems like the hillsides, at least where you are for a moment, are dead. Maybe you have a break to get in.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go for it.
All right. You dash in. You see further down this corridor here, there doesn't seem to be any other exits or entrances, at least from where you are. You see 4 now Burning Thorns bandits. The gruffer one seems to be a larger individual, following behind, as a couple of the other ones have started to go down in front of him. You hear one of them call back up, and he says, "Sir, you..."
Fucking hell, what's happening down there?
Literally didn't. What's wrong? "Nothing, sir. I just cut myself." "Don't make that noise." "Sorry, sir. Anyway, sir, you might not be able to fit." And you hear him, "What do you mean?" As you get a little closer, the echoes stop, and he said, "Sir, it's too small for you to fit." And you hear the body kind of hit the wall as he pushes the man out of the way and kind of begins to walk forward, and he says, "What? Get out of my way. What do you mean, too small? How did they get through here? I thought you said that orc was as big as a house." He said, "We did, sir. We did. Then how did he get through here?" "I don't know, sir. I don't know, but the blood carries on." "Fine. I'll leave. Find another way. You 3 go in." Yes, sir." Yes, sir. And then the two others that have already kind of made their way through, their heads are peeking through. They acknowledge him as well. He begins to turn around, Megan. You're in a kind of one exit, one entrance hallway or corridor here. There are plenty of stalactites and stalagmites to try and maybe cast a shadow and hide in, but it's a tight space.
Okay.
What do you want to do?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going up.
You going up?
I mean, if there's stalagmites, there must be stalactites.
Mm-hmm. There's
Did I get that the right way around? I think I did.
Stalagmites. Yep. Stalactites. Yeah. I said both. Don't worry. You're good. Okay. You do. There are a couple of them. Yeah. You're gonna try and like maybe like jump in a cluster or something.
On.
Okay.
Okay. Right. Is it dark here? I assume it's a little bit.
Yeah.
Like
yeah. It is. You have to use the goggles.
Okay. Boom. Goggles.
Okay. Give me a stealth check here. Now the cavern again, it's kind of claustrophobic. So this is one of those situations where even as he's walking underneath you, he might brush against you or something.
Well, not if I'm in the stalactites, hopefully.
You never know.
18. Wow, I'm rolling.
All right.
Today.
Mm-hmm. All right. He kind of makes and begins to clamber through. Some of his shoulders like touching the sides of the cave at some points. There's a loud like grunt as he stops about a foot away from you. Only for a brief moment. There's and then he continues on, holding his side, collided with a stalagmite, and trips himself up and
Tell the fucking queen, take her fucking orc, stupid fucking daughter. Fuck the fucking queen.
and begins to
Wait, did
walk
you
out of the
say
cave.
his stupid fucking daughter?
That's what you heard.
I've taken more notes this one episode than I have the entire fucking show.
He like brushes underneath you, and you see his silhouette, his large, bulky silhouette, start to kind of cover the exit to the cave. There's a bit of firelight that leaks in. You can see one of his subordinates peeping in, and it's met with a "What do you want?" Sir, there's a howling cave, quite just a little bit over here. We found it. Should we go in? Is this the right way?
Yes, it's the right way. Get down the fucking cave. What's this howling cave about?
Just it yells. It wind.
A lot of it.
What do you fucking mean? Dies off as they leave the cave. You can see him push the person out of the way. And the cave goes silent again, save for the footsteps of the 3 burning thorns bandits that have now made their way further down this corridor. What do you do?
So he's left.
He's left.
Is the coast clear?
Yeah, you're left with silence now as you can hear kind of the trailing footsteps of them leaving.
Okay.
You're left on your own.
Gracefully let myself down from the stalactites, which point down just like the middle of an M.
Stalactites. Yeah.
And there's a small opening.
Yeah, there's what looks to be where the cave narrows a little bit and the jagged kind of a jagged entrance that somebody would have to like slip through.
Okay.
Roll me a investigation check real quick, just while you're or yeah.
11.
There's spots and traces of like cooled blood that are dripping down the seems fresh down the side facing you.
And I've seen no other gaps, holes, drops, openings.
No, this is a pretty one-way corridor all the way through. Just seems like it closed in, and maybe the big burly bandit there wasn't able to get through. But the other 3 of them slipped through and continued on, looks like.
Follow the orc. And I'm gonna jump down.
Okay.
Well, not jump. Maybe. I'm thinking of the Goonies. You know, they just slide down holes. And I'm gonna carefully get through this.
Yeah, something that you can sidestep. Like you maybe put one leg on the other side, and bring yourself up and under. Maybe tap your head for a moment, just so I can laugh. But as you look further down the hallway here, as the goggles adjust for a moment, you can see there's another cave opening, another narrow opening where the three of them are slowly climbing through. Seems the bandits are also taking the same precautions. They seem to be going almost at the same pace that you are. Like you waited a moment and you still run into them and seem to be having a hurried conversation that just barely echoes. You can't really hear it, just a couple of whispers. And there seems to be like a loud, like rushing water just past them.
Loud rushing water. I'm gonna wait and just duck out of sight till they bugger off.
Yeah, they. Keep going. Sorry.
And I saw blood up there, so I'm gonna see if I can find the trail. I'm gonna try and look for blood.
Okay, give me another investigation check.
No whammies.
9. As you look around, you can't find any blood. There's none. It seems like it stopped right there almost. You're even able to go and look over and see the blood itself, if you'd like. But as you're looking around, you can't see any in the surroundings. Maybe a little further down the trail, but none right here. And you're just waiting for them, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they push in. They push in. You can see them also do the same lithe kind of duck up and under, and enter in on what seems to be the left side of a raging river. Maybe as they press forward, you press forward as well. It starts to take over the cavern a little bit more here in the hallways. The echoes of the river start to wash off or bounce off, and you can't quite hear what they're saying, but they do look like the three of them are having a conversation. Kind of hurriedly. There's a lot of finger pointing and pointing down the river and pointing back up, and it looks like one of them stops responding while the other two talk to each other for a moment, and they bring them back into the conversation, and they seem to deliberate for a little longer than maybe they should. Just seem to be standing there and talking.
I can't hear what they're saying, but they're obviously lost, right?
Yeah, they seem just looking back and forth at one another, looking down at the stream and talking. I think you can insinuate that they're lost from here.
Okay. If they were to come back this way where I am, is there any way I can hide out of sight from that?
Yeah. As you could probably, maybe you figure you could hide on the other side of where you had ducked in. The cavern is kind of littered with a couple of spots, a couple of nooks and crannies, but they're not like anywhere pronounced that you could, actually be out of sight. It would take a Megan level of stealthing to hide. So there's a couple of spots. What do you want to do?
I need Cash's bullshit. I have a leaf. And there's there's like a river down there. They've gone that way.
Yeah.
They're lost. They're coming back. I don't want to go back.
They don't seem to be coming back. They just seem to. They're standing there and arguing with each other over the stream here, and it's taking a little bit longer than maybe it should. Like you're kind of left there with a couple extra moments of wondering what to do. That's why I'm asking you what you want to do.
I'm just gonna stay crouched and just wait. If they're coming back, I'm just gonna look at the river stream.
Yeah.
Lake stream river. See, is there like rocks in it? Is it like big boulderies, or is it like worn away and smooth?
Just to clarify, are you talking about the one that was on the current map, or
there's a map?
No, this is the map. This is the map that I was showing Taldro and Kesh and Kale. Do you mean that river, like on the opposite side, or do you mean this small little trickling stream that's in where you are? Right, there's like a little bit of water that's just feeding. It looks like it's feeding into this river, but then suddenly there's a raging river past another gap.
That one that's by me.
That one that's by you?
The other one.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be. Sorry, what was the question again? I forgot it already.
Does it look hazardous and sharp and jagged, or does it look like it's been worn away over time and it's like smooth?
Yeah, this small stream in this corridor that you're in, it doesn't seem to have had any effect. almost seems to like pool at the entrance right up here. This is kind of effectively the entrance there to that river on the map. Can you see that?
I can't see that, no. It's all black for me.
There. Can you see that?
Oh, I can see that.
Yeah, so right there is where they are currently coming out on the other side. They're standing right here and just kind of discussing what to do. Now, on the other side here, the river looks kind of rocky and maybe hazardous if you were to fall.
Everything's confused me again now. Where am I?
No. You are off screen in another room. Coming down here. Down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you're up there, like right there.
And it's a raging river. It's like insanely raging.
To you from where you are right now, you can hear it kind of pushing through. Enough that you can't hear what they're saying in this cave, where it should be echoing around and...
Okay, so the little stream that's by me, that's feeding into this river, could I, like, move down it and get into the river? And...
Yeah, if you're careful enough, yeah. It would require maybe leaping into the river straight in front of these three. As you're kind of looking at them, one seems to make the leap across. You just see him, like as you're sitting there and pondering that, you see him kind of leap across and he disappears from sight, while the other two stand there and they seem to be moving their hands and gesturing. Their mouths seem to be moving as if they're talking to him.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is when I see someone like gearing themselves up ready to jump, I'm gonna jump into like past them and into the river and go past them.
Okay. Roll me.
When they're ready, I'm just gonna like just ballerina graceful swan dive.
Roll me a stealth check real quick. Are you trying to do it stealthily, or you're just diving in?
No, I'm gonna wait till they're ready to jump, so I don't have to be so stealthy. Okay. I can concentrate more on getting into the water.
Gotcha. So give me a stealth check with advantage then.
I will do this.
Just so I can roll it against their perception. Yeah.
I feel like that's unfair. I only got a 24 though. I love this character.
Jeez. All right. So as the second one, and you can hear the other one from as you get a little closer here, and you can hear the other one kind of motioning him across. He's, come on, you can do it. You can do it. And he jumps across and makes it. The other guy on the left side of the river pulls him across to help his comrade. Only the third or only the last one is left on this shore here. And as he's getting ready to jump, you into some of the hottest water that you have ever been in your life. A Constitution saving throw.
Here we go. I had no idea it was hot. I mean, I did.
Yeah.
An 8.
An 8.
It's really fucking hot.
So as soon as you dive in it, I mean, it feels fantastic for a brief moment, and then it turns scalding hot. As you dive, we're gonna put you right in the middle of the river there for you. Now that we're actually on the map, you dive.
Microphone's gone, Jay.
Are you? What? That was your fault. You made me hit the mic. That one's your fault.
Okay, that's my
As
fault.
you dive, it's just shallow enough for you to slip underneath, but you can immediately feel the water sapping your strength, and pulling at you, tugging at you, but simultaneously pushing you along. It feels like all energy immediately is just leaving you from this intense heat. What are you doing as you're underneath the water?
I'm coming back up.
You come back up? Okay. As you do, immediately, we'll say you get down here. Immediately, the two men that are waiting for their comrade to jump, they notice your head pop up and that's who's that? What? And they look over at the one that was that way. They look at the one that was supposed to jump and then look back at you. Are you going back under, or are you floating down this river? You seem to be being carried by the current. Do you let it?
It was very difficult to...
It's difficult to be in the water.
Right, yeah.
In the water, not underwater. In the water.
It's all the same, basically.
Yeah. It's scalding hot.
Okay, I'm getting out of the water. I'm getting out.
Okay, so you start to
here.
move your character where you want.
Can I try and get out here?
Yeah, give me a dexterity saving throw.
Dex save. Boom. Oh!
A natural 1. You can't. As you go to reach out, again, you disappear in front of their view as you maybe hit a rock underneath, your leg hits one, and your entire body begins to collapse in on itself. Give me a Constitution saving throw as you float a little further down the river.
Okay. Come on, con save. Come on. 19.
So you just barely hold it together, but you're still floating down the river. You've been thrashed against the rocks a couple of times, and there seems to be a moment where just off to your left, like you get a brief second of your head above the water, you can see a kind of dead area. Give me another dexterity or strength saving throw.
I will go with
Water starts to pull you in. All right. You sure?
Yeah. I don't know. -1 or a +8.
Let's.
I'm gonna go dex.
Yeah, go with the +8.
21.
Unfortunately, it is still not good enough.
Whoa!
As you go to reach out, your head cracks against this rock, and just as you go to reach, roll me another Constitution saving throw.
All right, Vio, I get it. I'm dying. All right.
17. Okay. You lose control for a moment after that. Maybe your head's a little dizzy and the water's still continuously sapping your strength. As you are swept down the river, you collide hard with the struts of a bridge. There's just a whack as you maybe chest first, head first, whatever you'd like, and your body kind of wraps around this. As we swap scenes. Over to Taldro, Kale, and Kesh. What are you guys doing? Where do you think you would have moved in this time? It's been about 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
You guys,
So if it's
10
been
minutes.
10 minutes, kept going.
Yeah, we would have kept going down the
We can
route.
we can assume you guys would have met up, yeah?
I
no.
guess if we-
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right here is
Yay.
maybe where you collide. You find yourselves walking along these tracks, and there's a maybe wide open room where Kesh is found sitting on some dilapidated boxes. Give me perception checks, all of you, real quick.
Sure. 9.
9,
13.
13, and a 6. Okay. So, Kale, as you're reaching this area of the cave, maybe before you speak to Kesh or whatever conversation happens, you hear a shout echoing down the hallways of somebody that you don't recognize. It's something along the lines of, "There he is!" And then it just very briefly muted.
Did you hear that? So someone shouted. There he is.
Oh,
I don't know, but I don't know the voice.
Did it echo from the left or to the right from us? Like down the from the tracks? Or, well, I guess
Both.
left or both sides?
Yeah, both. I think it would have been faint, but it just kind of surrounds.
we have to keep going. We have to keep ahead of them. We have to find a way out. We have to keep moving west somehow. Try to keep your bearings as we move through the caves.
All right. You do not think we should hide for a moment in case they pass?
No, they're always tracking us, no? Kesh, can you move?
Yeah, I can move.
Really don't.
Still stealthily kind of like creeping through.
Yeah.
We'll just go ahead and
I nod at Kale to just fucking keep going.
Okay.
I'll take up the rear again. The
Hell,
rear.
Okay. So you take up the rear. As you're walking along these tracks here, there's a wide open room that you had come through, Kesh. It seems like there are a couple of ruined like bed cots, and maybe this was used for a small sleeping station inside of these caverns. Whatever has been here before has been largely removed, but couple of sparse leftovers. You follow these tracks up to what looks to be a small bridge made of them, made only for a minecart maybe to pass over. There don't seem to be any footholds other than the rails and the actual wooden planks of the bridge. As you're appearing in this, or as you're maybe looking over this bridge, you can hear a loud of something hitting the bridge, and you see it rock. What do you do?
Kind of tuck to the side and look over the edge, just examining what the fuck just rocked it.
Give me an investigation check. You'd have to get to like right here. Is that okay?
That's fine. Yeah, cool. Just enough to be not in the open, but enough to like kind of glance down. I mean, it's not every day you see something like that.
Yeah.
6.
A 6. Looking down, you don't see what seemed to have knocked the bridge. You do see a trickle of firelight spilling out of the cavern to your north on the map. It seems like from this direction, all the way where you had first thrown Kale, you see a figure holding a torch and looking around and examining the water. There's another one beside him that you notice only when he fires an arrow off into the water, and it starts to come down the stream. Taldro and Kale, what are you two doing? Cash is up ahead, peering down the corridor.
So long as Kale is moving forward, I'm moving forward. If not, I'm kind of just being very cautious, wary of behind. Because I'm very concerned they're going to chase us. Both in and out of character, I'm concerned there's going to be a nunny to fuck behind you in a second.
So you two come up. I think you're right behind Cash. As Cash is he seems paused and looking further up the corridors. Doesn't seem to be moving.
What do we do?
Looking at the looking at the fire, just instinctively, if there is a darker, quieter kind of tucked away area that they don't have direct eyesight on, I want to go ahead and have the same grumbled roar kind of sound, just kind of echoing from I think it was like a 30, is it a 30 feet range or 30 foot range? Just enough so it like echoes throughout. There's no certain area of it, just enough to freak them out again.
Right. So there's a small little hidden ledge here. I think you can tell that you could hide among it. You'd probably have to get up on that to be able to look that far up into the cavern and be able to cast it.
How tall is that, and does it look like
it's just level with the bridge? It looks like somewhat safe. It's about 5 feet at its largest, but it's a little narrow to get onto.
Yeah, I just go ahead and walk up there real quick and just just a simple incantation and shout.
Yeah. There's a from your hands, and then further out, about 30 feet away, another shriek and then roar and then shaking kind of comes through the cavern. You hear God! What was that? And then another one. Don't worry, it's fine. Stay with us. And then a third further away. What was that? And muted, speaking between the two. It doesn't seem to have shaken them though. You can see them leap back with their torches against the wall. But they seem to be looking straight ahead. I think you could discern that's like where you threw Kale across.
Okay.
And as you step out onto the ledge, you maybe hear something else kind of hit the bridge. As you look down, you see Megan, unconscious, wrapped around the bridge. His leg maybe being caught with the water boot hitting the pillars. Megan, for all purposes right now, you are unconscious.
You were gonna say that it was like snapped and bent the wrong way and just like pop.
Oh
God!
Oh,
no more limbs. Stop with the no. We are done with that.
So you just hear, oh, and I rush over, and I'm not gonna slap him, but I'm gonna,
He's a little bit down. Just so you guys know, this is now, it's like just out of your reach, like just past 5 feet down on the struts. So you could reach him, but you'd have to like hold on to something and grab him or slap him.
Shit. Is that Megan?
Yes. He's hurt.
Hey, and I take off the gloves and throw them at Kale again.
Okay.
They have good grip. He looks like he's covered in water. He'll be slippery.
Oh, right.
That's what they are, right? They're like grippy gloves. That's the whole reason they give advantage, I think, originally that you told me.
Absolutely.
Gardening gloves.
Absolutely.
They're
they take a tuning, though. You had to attune to them, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, she didn't last time.
I made you attune to. Oh, really?
Well, no, but I mean...
Shut up.
She didn't last time. Last time I took them off and she put them on and just used them and got the thing and then gave them back. But if they take a tuning, then
they do take a tuning. Cool. I feel like maybe there's I probably worked that out in that moment, but
happened once.
Okay, so here's what happens then.
So
ranged heal
gives you these gloves still. Kaylee like takes them off and.
Right, so I'm gonna put those on, but then I'm gonna cast Healing Word on Megan. See if I can wake him up.
Give me the heal. 7. Give me a Constitution saving throw, Megan. A 5. You see the magic kind of begin to like spiral and reach out at range and come around him and comfort him and seep in. But he doesn't seem to move or respond.
Oh, well, perhaps he's just knocked out.
It's that water. Saps the energy from you.
I'm still exhausted, right? So I'm like probably doing I'm
exhausted.
still like leaning up against something and keeping an eye backwards while half watching both ways.
Yeah, Cash is
what
just
are you
watching out. Looking out both for making sure that Megan's being tended to, but also making sure that I see the torch lights and where they're going and what they're doing.
Yeah, as you... good that you mentioned that. You see one of them flit across. The torch falls into the water, but you do see the figure at the last moment, like his arm trailing as if he made the jump. Another one still standing on the ledge, and then
I want to
crosses.
Yeah,
again.
if I can time it, where if I see one of them jumping, I want to go ahead and do a different warp, not so much a grumble, but an actual like, you're about to get fucking pounced on.
Okay. All right. So this is just with minor illusion yet again, yeah?
Minor illusion, yeah.
Yeah. So you call upon it again, and it lets out a different bestial shriek, but it's almost loud. It reverberates the cavern a slight bit. The one that jumps across from the entrance, you seem to get him like as he lands, but it doesn't seem to affect him more than that. He just kind of crumples into the other one before their jump. Although the second one, you freak him out as he drops his torch. You just barely see this flash of one jumping and tumbling in the torch as it gets put out, and then as your vision adjusts, you can see the man helping the other one up. It doesn't seem like it's done too much. As you look over, though, Kale doesn't seem to be able to get Megan up. Megan, give me another Constitution saving throw, my friend.
Boom, a 7, Jay.
Sorry, buddy. Sorry, my friend. What are you guys doing? It's like limply.
Well, I can't reach him, and healing doesn't work. I can't pull him up.
Do we have any ropes left from fucking Barnaby? I don't think I do. I don't know if anyone
I
else does.
checked my pack when you fell in the water, and I didn't see any.
I have mine. Seeing Kale struggling, I go ahead and make my way down from the side and just trot across the bridge and.
When Kesh gets over here, I'm gonna go into his pack and get my armor and put it on because it's in his bag.
Okay. It takes about 10 minutes to put on, just so you guys know. So, yeah.
Yeah, she can do that. I'll take the rope, I'll put her bag on the side, and kind of see if I can make it almost like a little like lasso, trying to kind of loop him up and see if I could just get under like an arm or something like that, just to kind of pulley him up.
Yeah, I'll say he kind of in a static-ish position here, so it's easy enough to get the lasso down and around. You start to lower it very carefully, and maybe hook around an arm. As a wave catches it, the arm naturally kind of spikes into the lasso, and you get maybe the shoulder to shoulder kind of in the under the armpits grasp. You want to start pulling?
Yeah.
All right.
As slow and gentle as possible, not like rocking him around or anything like that. So,
give me a quick athletics check. You're able to do it. Just want to see how long it takes. 3. Okay. As you're
half an hour later, we're half there.
Very, very carefully. There is slowly enough, because as you pull him up and Megan unseats, the current immediately starts to pull again, and you have to keep a grab. As you do, maybe the first jut, his head smacks on the rock, and you have to be a little more gentle. As you're pulling and pulling, you start to get Megan up. You get to a point where you can grab the rope or his armpits, not underpants, and pull. You guys you're bringing him up. Is anyone helping? Nope. Nope. You start to bring him up. You're pulling him.
I'm putting my armor on, so.
Yeah. Let's see. Quick. Roll me a 1d10 real quick, Kale.
Oh my god. Okay. Sorry, Peachy. 3.
Okay. So you're like you're pulling up your greaves. Takes about 3 minutes here, and you pull him up onto shore. Kesh, you have Megan safe. Legs still kind of dangling off, but he seems burned and something, as far as you can tell, just his skin is all pink as if flames had like licked over it constantly. But seems unconscious. What are you doing?
Just looking him over, making sure, is he breathing? Is he obviously unconscious, but is he still alive, basically?
Breathing, but haggard, I'll say. If you want to know more, you can roll me a quick medicine check.
Sure. I just want to look him over and see if Kale can go ahead and do the expert thing. 19. 19.
Yeah, you can tell he's breathing, just haggard, rough breathing, but just seems exhausted, as if all the energy had been sapped out of him. Seems like he could be woken up.
You just give him a couple slaps, I guess. Just or that. You know what? I'm gonna go with that one. Can we? We're getting this ready. We're just gonna lightly tap him.
Megan, you're brought back to. Oh, God, Peachy, God damn it! You're brought back to consciousness as you hear the rushing of the water. Maybe there's as you come back, looking up into the eyes of Kesh. One side, your left side of your goggles, smashed in, but you can still see in the darkness a little bit. You can make out the vision of Kesh leaning above you.
Kesh? Yes, are you all right? You're gonna be tender. Had to give him a good couple slaps on the shoulder.
It's at that point that from around the corner you hear, "Oi! We found them!" As the firelight begins to spill into the corridor from just behind Taldro, you see it creeping in, and a man's face stands there, looking at all of you. And that is where we're gonna end tonight's session.
I'm a fucking whip of chains, Megan. Now.
Can we not save it?
Oh man, good job, guys. Sorry, Megan. Love you, buddy.
I have a page of notes. What the fuck happened today?
You got lore. You got
lore,
fucking lore.
I got the knowledge.
That knowledge. And knowledge is power. I'm going to be in the Discord here over on our Table Story Discord, discord.gg/Table Story, if I'm not mistaken, answering some questions about RagTags for like the next half hour, an hour. If any of you in the chat that are watching want to come and hang out and ask anything of today's episode, I have to keep my hand like this or the sun will illuminate. Thank you all. Thank you for playing. Thank you for, I know it was a rough day for all of you guys. I know it's a rough week, so I hope I can take your minds off of it for a bit. And I love your faces. Why don't we go around real quick? Shout yourselves out. Shout each other out. Peachy, shout out Zod.
Zod is just ridiculously handsome. He's basically like he's basically an e-boy. He's just Zod thought. It's the only reason to follow him. Like, his content is absolute trash. But he does show a lot of skin, and you should sub to him.
Easy. Okay. Yeah. Shit, dude. That's a wow. Damn, man. Oof.
Huh. It's hot as fuck right now, and it does not help. I really want to tear you a new one. Huh.
Oh, what good. You know, that's great, because that means Zot, you can shout out Tuesday. What's going on?
Oh, but she's like the sweetest bean in the fucking world. Exactly. If you guys have not given Tuesday a follow, please do. She's amazing. She's amazing. She's great. Having internet issues for a while now, but whenever she gets her net finally back up and ready, for the love of God, we're going to celebrate with just a ton of love. But for now, go ahead and follow her now, follow here now, and yeah, make sure you guys check out the Patreon.
Yes. Oh, perfect. Thank you so much, Zotbot Tuesday Gray. What a great shout out. Tuesday, can you please shout out Brad?
Yes, I think the best thing I can say about Brad is that if you go follow him right now, free hand jobs for every single follow, and I think free BJs for subs, but that was last week, so it could have changed.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's from Tuesday,
yeah.
Not me, by the way. She's offering now. So you're aware. Just a little,
this is Brad, not Peachy's channel, but okay.
Actually, they're all from Noodle, but you know, we wait till the last minute to tell folks about that.
Listen, they can't tell. Noodle puts on the glasses, ties his hair up, and we just get the dimmest of dim lights, and we go, it's Tuesday in the room with you. It is a promise.
Brad, you get to shout out Peachy, my friend.
Thank you.
Does he even fucking stream? I don't know.
Wow.
That was a good shout out.
That's a great shout out. Thank you all for watching. Please go show Peachy some love. I actually feel bad for that. Peachy makes a lot of great Go check out Peachy, all right? Well, we'll see you guys next Thursday, hopefully.
He fucking guilt follows, Jay.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
you do. All right. See you next time.
y'all.
Don't forget to join us tomorrow for a brand new show called Simulacrum. And Saturday for Magical Kitties Part 2. And you can also go and look at Jay's channel if you want. Bye.
Bye. Thanks for watching, everyone.